we welcome you back to Tampa. Well, it's September and it's Florida, which means the weather will be a factor today. This afternoon, temperatures on the field reached about 110 degrees. Both athletic training staffs telling me they kept their teams hydrated all week, got salt in them. Now they just hope that they drink enough during this game. Rob Ryan even shared with us that he is going to play every single person on his defense because of the heat and the humidity out here. And another little wind element for you guys. This is not a hair fan. No, the wind has picked up. Why? Because there is a thunderstorm headed our way. So we'll see what that has to do with our action. Kevin, back up to you. Stay dry up there, guys.
You know, Aaron, I like the ponytail because it gives us the wind direction. Yes. We'll just go down to you, and we know exactly where the wind is coming from down there as Darren Sproles, the electric return man for New Orleans. Saints won the toss, and they will receive. Remember last week the Saints won the toss and deferred as a kind of a head nod to their defense and their new thought process on D, but today they take the ball.
Well, Rob Ryan's here. Sean Payton said it's so important to have the defense feel good about themselves. What a way to do it by deferring in the first game.
And Canaan's kick. Sproles will take a knee. Here comes Drew Brees, who torched the Bucs last year in 2 contests, 8 touchdowns, just 1 interception.
Well, we'll see throughout this game the new Buccaneers secondary. In many ways, they're here because of those numbers right there. You build your team to win your division. Greg Schiano said absolutely when we asked if these new members of the secondary had anything to do with Drew Brees' success.
Saints will start out with a bunch left. They had Kenny Stills, the rookie in the game. And Brees has his first pass completed to Colston, and that's a first down. This Saints offense does start with their line, and especially up the middle.
Well, it does, and frankly, the effort wasn't great last week, starting with Jahri Evans, their Pro Bowl right guard. He didn't play well enough. They need him to play well. You look at Marcus Colston, who just caught the first ball, became the Saints' all-time leading receiver last week.
Saints just subbed in, or rather the Bucs just subbed in 4 defenders quickly. You're going to see a lot of that today. Pressure from McCoy, and looking for Graham. It's incomplete. That was Adrian Claiborne, the defensive end, on the coverage of Jimmy Graham. On this Bucs defensive line, well, John, we mentioned pressure up the middle, and that's where you're going to look here today.
Absolutely. We just saw Gerald McCoy with pressure early. Who else? Who else is going to help him out? Adrian Claiborne needs to rush the passer and rush it well today. Linebackers are outstanding for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Foster and David. And there's that new secondary. They spent a lot of money with Revis and Goldson. We'll see how they fare against Drew Brees and company.
This is Sproles. And he darts up the middle to the 40-yard line. Claiborne in on the tackle. Greg Schiano talking about Adrian Claiborne. Remember, he missed last year with ACL injury, and he said he had a couple of car crash hits against the Jets.
That he did. He played very well versus the run. His legs are still getting underneath him, and that's where they need it on the pass rush. On 3rd down right here, here's where Adrian Claiborne needs to come to the dance tonight.
Saints are terrific on 3rd down under Drew Brees. They were 46%, 6 of 13 last week. Third and 5. Wide open is Jimmy Graham, and he's into Bucs territory for a first down. Down to the 39, it was Deshaun Goldson on the hit, but a 21-yard hookup.
Well, with all these weapons, Kevin, all Drew Brees does is sit back and find the matchup he wants. Well, he looks out. He's got a backup safety, Ahmad Black, and he's working against Jimmy Graham. And Drew Brees, that's an easy read for him. He goes to work on the backup safety to his favorite receiver, Jimmy Graham. Great execution by the New Orleans Saints.
1st and 10. Here is Mark Ingram, who's got some running room, and that's different along from last week, because last week Ingram with 9 carries, only 11 yards. Dakota Watson on the stop. It's a pickup of 8.
And that run game is so critical. It's something that was a miss last year when Sean Payton was gone. There is a commitment to the run game. They didn't do it really effectively versus Atlanta, but they committed to it. They kept doing it, and that plays into controlling the football game and their play-action passing game, which is so effective.
Again, Ingram. He is going to be short, well played by the Bucs defensive line.
You know, Kevin, we saw it on the first third down. So many teams, and being a former defensive player, you're conditioned on third down to defend the sticks. Well, the Saints, they kind of break the tendency there. They don't play to the sticks. They go for shots often. We saw it early to Jimmy Graham. Third down, you got to be cognizant. They aren't playing to the sticks. They'll go for the shot often.
On a 3rd and 3, the Saints split Pierre Thomas, who now comes in motion behind Breeze. A pistol formation for the Saints. Didn't see this last week. And again, a wide open receiver. It's Colston for a first down.
Well, there's so many options for Drew Brees. Threw to 7 different receivers last week. This time he says, okay, you want to cover Jimmy Graham? I'll throw it out to Marcus Colston. Drew Brees does such a great job of taking what the defense gives to him. He said, I have no idea how the Buccaneers with this new secondary are gonna play us. We're gonna find it out early. He's doing a great job.
That's Sproles at tailback, 8th play of the drive. Looking for Colston. It was Goldson on the coverage.
Deshaun Goldson, the all-pro free safety. They paid a lot of money to bring him in here. He's a guy who has had success against Drew Brees as a member of the San Francisco 49ers. You see him working on Marcus Colston. Great job reacting to the throw. He said so key to take away his first read. He does it well right there.
Sproles back with Breeze on a 2nd and 10. Pressure coming, and Breeze goes down. Gerald McCoy gets the sack.
Gerald McCoy, I thought he was dominant last week, and you say dominant, he didn't have any sacks. Well, there was constant pressure. This time he finishes the deal, finishes Drew Brees. Pressure in his face, he said, would be key. And Gerald McCoy is getting after it early.
It's a 7-yard loss, and the Saints looking at a 3rd and 17. That's Lance Moore in the slot, top of your screen. Here comes the blitz, and Breeze overthrows Sproles.
Greg Schiano says you got to mix and match. They show the blitz, they bring the blitz. They said you can't do it too much against Breeze, but it's sure effective right there. Breeze sees the pressure coming. The Buccaneers react to the screen, and he simply throws it away. Nice job getting off the field by the Buccaneer defense.
It's a 44-yard field goal for Garrett Hartley. Luke McCown, the backup quarterback, to hold. And Hartley is true. So the Bucs bend but do not break. And the Saints get a field goal on the opening drive. Gerald McCoy made sure it wasn't any more than that. But the Saints up 3-0 early. So Drew Brees takes the Saints on an 11-play drive, but a big sack by Gerald McCoy halted the drive. They settle for a Garrett Hartley 44-yard field goal. And the weather looking quite ominous here in Tampa.
Just as that ball was snapped on that 3rd down, there was a boom, and it wasn't Gerald McCoy sacking Drew Brees. It was a big lightning strike up there.
Looks like it's starting to rain in Tampa as well. The wind is picking up. Here's what happened, John. That was the boom.
There it was.
You know, they fire off the cannons here in Tampa when you get in the red zone, but they don't do it for the visitor. Thomas Morstead, the Pro Bowler, will get set to kick it off, and I'm sure with the wind he's going to have someone hold it, and that's what he will do. Rod Sweeting, reserve cornerback, will hold it for him. That's Eric Page. Back to receive. The wind is whipping through the stadium right now. And Page is going to take a knee. And so the Bucs will take over on their own 20. Early first quarter. Saints on top of Tampa. 3-0. Well, it has started raining in Tampa. high winds too, as we saw lightning just before we went to break there. And that's Bill Levy, his 13th season, our referee today.
The game is going to be suspended for a threat of lightning in the area.
Well, that doesn't shock me. We saw the lightning and the people from the upper deck was starting to come down. You don't want to put anybody in harm in the stands, especially. And so they will suspend this game with the Saints up 3-0 after that first drive. Well, certainly looks bad out there. Let's find out. Aaron, what do you have?
It looks bad, but I got to tell you, the temperatures have cooled off quite a bit, Kevin. But I just found out, obviously, you heard they just suspended the game. They don't know how long this storm is going to last. And quite frankly, when we saw the first bolt of lightning right there, players and everybody was asking, why are we not going inside? And that's because they were waiting for a decision from New York. So finally one was made, and we still don't know how long this is going to last, Kevin.
So, John, as a player right now, what's your mindset? You're amped up to start this game, your home opener, and then go inside for a little while.
Yeah, really tough. I mean, you just start a game, and the one thing I can tell you, having played in Tampa for 11 years, this is commonplace. These storms come in, there's lots of lightning, and you don't mess with lightning.
And you see Rob Ryan. While we wait for the weather, let's throw it to Sam Rosen and Heath Evans. They've got the call of the Lions and the Cardinals this afternoon. Well, the weather was nice and hot when we started, but then the storms came rolling in with the lightning and people had to get on out of their seats. The rain got harder, the wind whipping through the stadium, and at that point, even Aaron had to take cover. It was bad on the field, and Bill Levy finally said, okay, too much. Let's take cover and take some shelter. And everyone emptied out of the stadium, players off the field. We did get one possession in, and this is the problem. Even at 5 o'clock, the lightning continued to strike, and that's why we've been waiting for such a long time. The lightning delay, but we were close to playing football. Let's go downstairs to Aaron.
Kevin, the teams just obviously came out onto the field getting ready for the game to start. An hour and 9-minute delay. What did the teams do? The Saints just really were stretching in the locker room, trying to regain composure. As for the Buccaneers, defense went over that first series. The offense went over to the keys to the game. And, you know, walking out onto the field with Bucs special teams coordinator Dave Wannstedt, he said to me, the more mature team is the one that's least affected by a delay like this. And then they all joked with me, and you were so concerned about the heat. It's now 83 degrees down here. I won't complain anymore, guys.
By the way, excellent veteran reporting, finding that little cove to hang out in, Aaron. Well, here's what we did have. Some football. First drive, Saints on the move down the field. Marcus Colston, couple of big catches, but then it stalled. Gerald McCoy with the big sack, so the Saints settled for this. Garrett Hartley, a 44-yard field goal. They kicked off, and then the Bucs kneeled it. They'll take over the 20, and that's where we are. One possession in this game. It's 3-0 the Saints in front, and then the big buzzkill of an hour and 9-minute delay. John, yeah, that's tough, I'd have to think. I know we were just hanging out watching football, but as a player, what are you doing to stay warm? How do you get in that mindset again after such a long layoff?
Well, that's the hardest thing, is staying warm. You get loose, then you go in, you get cold again, and coming back. That's the challenge. But I think Dave Wannstedt made a great point.
Yeah.
The more mature team, who's mentally tougher, who can focus on what they should be focused on. A lot of distractions already this week in Tampa. We'll see how they handle it.
That is a great point. Let's look at the Tampa offense as they will get the ball for the first time. It is Josh Freeman, who, of course, under a lot of scrutiny this week. Reports coming out, missing the team photo, not the captain anymore. That's what he did last week against the Jets. And he will set up to take this Tampa team on their first drive of the day. It is the Bucs home opener today, and the fans have still streaming back in. 3-0 Saints. Bucs ball, 1st and 10. And Freeman hits Vincent Jackson for his first catch of the day. Jackson with a huge game last week. 7 catches, 154 yards. And Tampa with the tempo, trying to hustle out of the gate. So it's an interesting call by Mike Sullivan, the offensive coordinator. First carry for Doug Martin on a first down. And Akeem Hicks with the stop. Here is the line, and again, Gabe Carimi in at left guard for Carl Nix, who is not back yet from that toe injury.
And Davin Joseph came back from a year off, and he played like a guy who didn't have his legs back. It's important for the Bucs. They have their fullback, Eric Lorg, out. That will help their stud running back, Doug Martin, as he feels comfortable, frankly, with Eric Lorg in front of him.
Lorg in the game. That's Nate Byam, backup tight end in motion. Here's Martin. And not much room there. Martin's going to slither for a couple before Jabari Greer made the stop. The Saints defense banged up along the line, but got some good performances last week in the win over Atlanta.
Well, they list a 3-4. They played a lot of 4-3 last week. Akeem Hicks was awesome, as was Cam Jordan. Junior Collette, pressure off the edge. And you look at that secondary, and it's Kenny Vaccaro, the rookie safety that Rob Ryan and Sean Payton absolutely love. They love his instincts. They love the physicality that he brings to this defense.
3rd down and 7. Bucs were 38%, 6 of 16 against the Jets on 3rd.
No one has a hand down. The amoeba defense, as Rob Ryan calls it.
Freeman hits Williams, who tries to break free but can't. Malcolm Jenkins hung on there, and the Bucs will have to punt it away.
Well, a really nice job by Malcolm Jenkins. It's so critical to tackle the catch. They're going to complete some, but keep it in front of you and hold on for dear life. And he does just by a jersey, but a good job by Malcolm Jenkins.
Darren Sproles waiting to receive the punt from Michael Kanan, who had a terrific week last week. Here, though, not so great. And Sproles will let it go. And so the Saints will take over on about their own 23-yard line when we come back. Drew Brees comes on the field for his second possession. A lot of weapons at his disposal. 3-0 Saints early. Drew Brees had his way with the Tampa Bay Bucs last year. 8 touchdowns, 1 interception, and it's a big reason why Tampa went out and spent $1 gazillion on a revamped secondary.
Well, did they ever? 137 to be exact on Darrelle Revis and Deshaun Goldson. $38 million of that guaranteed. These guys can play. Is it enough? I think it starts up front. Gerald McCoy did a nice job of establishing his presence early.
So my math was a little off, is what you're saying. Second possession for New Orleans. It's Pierre Thomas in the backfield behind Drew Brees. A lot of time, and he's got it intercepted. Intercepted by Dakota Watson.
An absolutely excellent job. I want you to watch Dakota Watson. This is a hallmark of the Saints offense. Play action pass, look deep to short. He baits Drew Brees into this. He starts to go to the flat to cover Pierre Thomas, and then pulls the old okey doke, comes back in on Drew Brees. He out-breezed Drew Brees himself. Great play by Dakota Watson.
4th-year man from Florida State has the Bucs in great field position at the New Orleans 35. Draw to Martin, and he is wrestled down for no gain. Akeem Hicks, who was a monster against Atlanta last week with the tackle.
Well, you know, I'm not ready to proclaim this guy a Pro Bowl player, but he's a man in the middle, and he takes up gaps. Look at him push Davin Joseph back into the backfield. Jeremy Zutah. You see him working against Zutah. He extends his arms, just kind of manhandles him and gets off and then makes the tackle. This guy is an imposing player in the middle, and they think going to be a fine and possibly special player in New Orleans.
This time Martin with room, and he's inside the 25 for a Buccaneer first down. Gabe Carimi opened up a nice hole.
The Buccaneers going with the tempo, getting right to the line of scrimmage for the next play.
And this one's going to be whistled dead.
Ball start. Number 19, offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You go back to that run, and this is what you want to do. You want to get Doug Martin downhill, and downhill in a hurry. He's so small, he's hard to find. He's got a burst, and he's tough to tackle. Rob Ryan said this guy could walk under the table, and he certainly doesn't.
With the penalty, it's a 1st and 15. Bucs go 2 tight ends. Nate Byam in the game. Martin fighting forward, and he's down to the 22. Doug Martin picks up 5. Well, penalties were a huge issue last week. More penalties than first downs. That's an issue.
And I'll tell you, if I'm the Buccaneer coaching staff, it's the penalties like we just saw. A false start when you're trying to go up tempo that bother you. The stuff with Deshaun Goldson, the hits across the middle, I think you adjust to that. I think you set a tone on how you're going to play defense. Those are all right so long as you adjust, but the pre-snap stuff they have to clean up.
2nd and 10. Freeman, and looking for Vincent Jackson, not there. Pressure was coming that time from Cam Jordan.
These are those 3rd and long looks that the Buccaneers and every team in the NFL offensively wants to stay out of, particularly when you're going up against a guy like Rob Ryan. This is where you get these exotic looks, no one with their hand down, tough to identify who's coming and who's not.
Eric Page in the game for the Bucs. Good debut for Ryan's defense. 3rd and 10 for Tampa here. Freeman's going to run it. 1st down and more. Josh Freeman down to the 9.
This is what you like to see. You're looking downfield. Josh Freeman's an incredible athlete. Go ahead. You got all that green out here. Go ahead. Go take it. They're going to cover, and you've got green grass. Go ahead. Take it. Josh Freeman does, and moves the chains in the process.
Meanwhile, injured New Orleans Saints at about the 27-yard line. And they are short defensive linemen. That's Tom Johnson. They've already got a couple defensive linemen inactive today. Broderick Bunkley, the starter, out, so they can't really afford to lose more beef up front.
Tyron Walker out as well, and so they came in thin at that position to start with, and certainly not the way they want to start. Good protection up front. And I really like that by Josh Freeman, seeing the grass and going and taking it. And Tom Johnson, a versatile player that can play inside and outside. Tough loss for the New Orleans Saints.
The Saints were so thin there, they had to go out and sign Jay Richardson this week. But they had in camp and cut, and who knows, maybe he becomes a big part of this game. So 92, that's John Jenkins. That's the rookie nose tackle who's playing for Broderick Bunkley. First and goal. And we're going to get a hold. Looks like they tried to get Lorig on the screen, but Will Herring on the coverage.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 54 defense. 5-yard penalty, 1st and goal for 5.
Here's Will Herring right here. The hard play action by the Buccaneers with the success Doug Martin's having running the football. He gets fooled. Probably a smart decision, because if he doesn't hold Lorig, he probably walks in for a touchdown.
It'll be a 1st and goal at the 5. That's Martin in the backfield with Freeman. Mike Williams, top of the screen. Looking Williams' way, knocked away. Crowd wants a flag. That was not going to happen. Raphael Bush, Jabari Greer, both in that vicinity.
Mike Williams is a target that Josh Freeman loves in the red zone. He's a size and strength guy. Josh Freeman will put him up in those one-on-one situations. 9 touchdowns last year in 2012. Nice ball by Josh Freeman. Just a good play by Jabari Greer, getting the ball out of there.
Bucs bring in Timmy Wright, rookie out of Rutgers, as a backup tight end on a 2nd and goal. Wide open, it's Ogletree. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Kevin Ogletree is a guy that the Buccaneers, everyone from Mike Sullivan to head coach Greg Schiano, says we've got to get going. He's going to go just on a little drive route. And you distract with Vincent Jackson, their stud receiver. You clear out the defense. You run underneath. Good throw by Josh Freeman. Nice execution by the Buccaneer offense.
Set up by the interception from Dakota Watson. Ryan Lindell's extra point. Up and good to Tampa. Lebanon taking advantage of the turnover, and then this. Freeman to Ogletree. 7-3 Bucs over the Saints. The Bucs take advantage of the Dakota Watson interception of Drew Brees. They go down and score. 7 plays, 35 yards. Kevin Ogletree, his first touchdown as a Buc. The former Cowboy, as Watson, number 56, made it happen with the interception of Brees. They give the Bucs their ball on the 35, and they've got a 7-3 lead. Michael Kanan to kick it off to Darren Sproles. And the Saints will take over on the 20. So, John, how did Kevin Ogletree get open?
Well, you go back and you watch Keenan Robinson, the corner, too far off, too much room, and then all of a sudden he's going to get caught in the traffic. You run the little shallow cross, and Tim Wright right here, he provides the traffic. Keenan Lewis can't get around him. He hesitates. He who hesitates loses in this league. Great execution by Josh Freeman and the Buccaneers, and Rob Ryan scratching his head. We got to be better.
1st and 10 Saints at the 20. And swing it to Sproles. He breaks one tackle and is going to work his way to the 25 for his stacked up there. Mark Barron made the stop.
Well, Sean Payton just loves having Darren Sproles at his disposal. He calls him the Joker because he's the wild card in this offense, much like Reggie Bush was at one point, but I think even a little more versatile. The other thing about Darren Sproles, so little, but Sean Payton loves running him right up the middle.
This time, though, to the outside, and Sproles uses the speed, and he's out across the 30 for a 1st down. That's a pickup of 5 for Sproles. Talked about it earlier, John. You know, this Saints team, they know how important the run is. I mean, they ran it 29 times against the Falcons, and even though they only averaged 2.7 yards a clip, they are going to stay with that philosophy.
Absolutely, and they're committed to it. When they've been successful in the past, they've run the football well. Their Super Bowl year, 2009, they ran it. They're 6th ranked rush team in the league. Whenever they've been good, they've run the ball effectively.
Brees with a lot of time, taking a shot deep. It's Meacham, and it's a little overthrown. Robert Meacham, former Saint, was with San Diego, but was a bust there back with New Orleans, but couldn't catch up to that one.
Well, and that's the other thing the run game does, is it sets up that play-action pass game that Sean Payton and Drew Brees and these Saints do so well. It's not uncommon to see them on 1st and 2nd down throw the ball downfield, and Daniel Teo Nessheim puts a hit on Drew Brees at the end of that throw.
Second and 10. And they've got Graham out around the 38-yard line. Mark Barron on the stop, 7-yard pickup.
Jimmy Graham, such a big presence for Drew Brees over the middle of the field. 6'7", old basketball player. You see him there boxing out, using that big body. And Drew Brees has developed a trust, much like the trust he has with Marcus Colston, where he feels like he can throw it. The worst that's going to happen, incomplete pass.
And that sets up a 3rd and 3. That's Thomas now coming back behind Brees. And Brees has a 1st down, finding the tight end Graham once again. Darrelle Revis on the stop, 6-yard gain, and that'll move the chains.
Well, one thing that Drew Brees noticed as we met with him yesterday was that the Greg Schiano from last year, running Bill Sheridan, the defensive coordinator, it was primarily man-to-man. He said in the first game, I noticed I saw a lot more coverage, a lot more zone, despite going out and getting to Darrelle Revis. We're seeing that here, and Drew Brees is picking it apart.
Revis, top of your screen as the Bucs trying to change their D. And Brees has a wide open Jimmy Graham. He's going to walk in for 6. 56 yards. John, you could see there was confusion on Tampa just before the snap.
Well, Drew Brees changes the play at the line of scrimmage, sees something, and the Buccaneers tried to get to a different defense, never got there. Confusion between Dakota Watson and Mark Barron. Jimmy Graham, in result, can't let him run free. Of all people on the Saints offense, you can't let him run free, and when he has free runners, Drew Brees does not miss him.
Hartley's extra point. Up and good. Jimmy Graham, a 56-yard touchdown catch. And the Saints go back on top of the Bucs. Well, Graham is a hoopster. The little slam, that makes everybody happy, including his quarterback, Drew Brees. Oh, the Bucs trying to figure out what happened there. That's Mason Foster, their middle linebacker, as Jimmy Graham was left wide open for a 56-yard touchdown. That put the Saints in front. And Hartley, actually it's Morstead, excuse me, will kick it off through the hands of Page and out of the end zone.
Go back to this last touchdown, and Drew Brees, we saw him audibilize at the line of scrimmage. It looks like half the team's playing a cover 2, in which case Mark Barron should be back there. Obviously a miscommunication, but early in that play, Drew Brees pumps to the right, manipulates the coverage, and then throws to the left. That was something the Buccaneer defenders were very cognizant of. You can be aware of it. It's one thing to react on the field, and they didn't do it well right there.
Tampa's turn. 1st and 10 on the 20. Here's Martin. Good cutback and a good run on 1st down for Doug Martin, who's going to pick up 7. Cam Jordan on the tackle.
So important for Josh Freeman. They've started this game good offensively. They cashed in on the turnover. Now how do you respond to some adversity? And it's critical for Josh Freeman to take charge of this team, play efficient, consistent football, because he knows Drew Brees is on the other side.
A 2nd and 3. Time for Freeman, steps up, airing it out. And overthrown, looking for Mike Williams on the play. Jabari Greer was on the coverage. Aaron has an update on the injury. Aaron.
Yeah, for a Saints D-line that was already paper thin, they just took another hit. Tom Johnson still in the locker room, right leg injury. He's questionable to return.
Now that's they have really on paper 3 healthy defensive linemen, but with Rob Ryan, they've got a bunch of guys that'll kind of rotate linebacker, D-end anyway, but still you don't like to get that thin.
This is the down where you need those D linemen. The Bucs talked all week to us as we met with them about how critical 3rd down is. If you convert on 3rd down, you keep number 9, Drew Brees, on the bench on the other side.
Martin has the 1st down and then some. Kenny Vaccaro on the stop, but already Doug Martin having better success this week than he did against the Jets.
We're going to have a direct snap to Doug Martin right here. Davin Joseph going to get out front. Jeremy Zutov pulls out in front.
And in and out of the hands of Martin. Bucs are trying to get him more involved in the pass game. I mean, you say, well, wait a second. He was plenty involved last year, but they're trying to do it even more so. He had a couple drops last week, though, uncharacteristic for him.
He did, and he did right there, but there's one thing to be sure. The Ryan brothers, they have a lot of respect for Doug Martin. We heard Rex Ryan last week. Rex, what are the priorities? Stopping Doug Martin. That guy's a stud. Same thing with Rob Ryan. Number one priority, stopping Doug Martin. And if that's the case, Josh Freeman should have a lot of Vincent Jackson and Mike Williams outside.
This is Brian Leonard, and he gets met at the line of scrimmage. Curtis Lofton with the stick.
See Curtis Lofton right here in the middle. It's just good linebacking. He eludes Gabe Karimi, who, remember, is in there for Carl Nix, who's out, and they sorely miss Carl Nix. Here's another 3rd and long for the Buccaneers.
Bucs 2 of 3 on 3rd down. Here comes that amoeba set, right, John? Here they come. Mike Williams, and he can't break free. Keenan Lewis stuck on him like glue, and the Bucs will punt it away. It may take us to the end of the first quarter. Darren Sproles will get back there. Doesn't look like the Bucs are in any hurry to punt it away just yet. And that will be the end of quarter number 1 here from Tampa. The Saints on top of the Bucs 10-7. The NFL on Fox returns after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. We start quarter number 2 in Tampa. Saints up 10-7, and they'll get the ball as Michael Kanan will boot it away. And that'll go far out of bounds. See where the official puts this one for Drew Brees and company. Right around the 25-yard line. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, join Jay and Dan. They recap all of today's action from the gridiron and the rest of the sports world. Don't miss Fox Sports Live tonight at 11 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com right now. Drew Brees so far, the big play going to his tight end Jimmy Graham, a 56-yard touchdown catch. So Graham already 4 catches and 90 yards. Here comes pressure, and Brees is decked. Ball is loose, and Tampa's got it. Adrian Claiborne smothered Drew Brees, but let's see what the flag is on.
I think they're going to get Adrian Claiborne for helmet-to-helmet contact on Drew Brees. Something that has plagued the Buccaneers early in this season, a physical defense, but we all know the rules in the NFL, protecting quarterbacks especially.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 94. Defense, going to the head of the quarterback with his helmet. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Watch Adrian Claiborne coming off the edge. They do a great job of taking away Brees' first 2 reads, and here comes Claiborne. And we can debate whether you think it's a good call or not all we want, but all we know is each week we're seeing this. The league is enforcing these rules, and the players have to adjust. And I know that sounds funny coming from me, a guy that was known for hard-hitting ways, but this is a different league these guys are playing in.
Did he not hit his shoulder pad first? I mean, that one I don't get, but it's a obviously enormous call. 15 yards, 1st and 10 New Orleans, now the 35. Would have been Bucs ball. Here's Sproles. Short game. Let's watch the hit again.
You watch Adrian Claiborne, an incredibly physical.
He did get the helmet.
And, you know, but things move fast out there. And like I said, we can argue it all we want. I'm just telling you, that's the way the league and the officials, Bill Levy and these guys, are told to enforce it. And as players, you have to adjust.
Gerald McCoy is the injured Buck. Well, it brings us a conversation we had with Deshaun Goldson this week. And it talked about exactly that, how to tackle in today's NFL, because clearly it's different. We'll talk about that when we come back. Saints tend to the injured McCoy. They are up 10-7. Gerald McCoy walked off the field under his own power for Tampa Bay. Gary Gibson, his replacement. 2nd and 9 for the Saints. Knocked away nicely over the middle. Levante David, and there is a flag.
Looks like they're going to get Deshaun Goldson now for contact across the middle. I tell you what Deshaun Goldson has to watch, as it's happened last week, happened this week, is the league coming down on him and coming down on him hard. They'll take your money. Next thing is suspensions.
Well, he was fined $30,000.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 33 defense. Helmet to helmet contact, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
See, on a defenseless player, and they're going to call that every time. And
yeah,
you know, look, I'm all for physical play, and it pains me to watch this at times. It's just where the league has gone. You can like it, you cannot like it.
Well, we talked to Goldson about that, as we said, going to break, and he said, you know, I feel like all my hits have been clean. My job is to make sure guys get on the ground and feel my presence back there. Problem is, like you said, he was already fined $30 grand this week, and clearly they're watching him now. Flea flicker. Breeze airing it out for Colston. Knocked away. That was Darrelle Revis back there on the coverage.
And here's the greatness of Darrelle Revis. He's beat here on the double move, but watch the catch-up speed, and then he doesn't panic. He turns, looks at the football. That's great play by Darrelle Revis, who's a great player in this league.
It's almost like he measured his speed, like he knew he could catch up there.
Well, when you have that speed, that's the important thing. First of all, to have the speed, right. So he knows he can go there. But the great players, they never panic. You see players in this league panic all the time. He calmly looks back at the football, strips the ball. That's what makes him a terrific player.
He played 53 plays last week, getting back from that ACL injury, and he's looking better and better. Second and 10. And here's Sproles in the flat, taken down. Darrelle Revis, Mark Barron there, 4-yard pickup.
So critical to tackle the New Orleans Saints. The yards after the catch are something that they thrive on. Right there, a good example of good tackling by Mark Barron. Getting Darren Sproles down, which, believe me, I've tried to do it. Not an easy task.
Saints 3 of 4 on 3rd down. Third and 6. Wide open again. It's Jimmy Graham. Breaks a tackle, and he's down near the 26. Leonard Johnson was there. But Jimmy Graham is running free on this secondary. It's a 19-yard gain.
Well, it starts with great protection up front. They're going to bring extra people, but great job by Pierre Thomas, the running back, picking up Ahmad Black. And then you can't let Jimmy Graham, the receiver that Drew Brees probably likes going to most, right across the middle, you can't drop him in coverage. It's just something you got to know where he is at all times. It's twice now that they've dropped him in coverage.
He's got 5 catches, 108 yards. We're not even at halftime yet. We're not even 5 minutes into the second quarter.
Ball start, number 22, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's on Mark Ingram.
You know, from playing against great players, great quarterbacks specifically, the Peyton Mannings, Brett Favre when he was rolling, Drew Brees, you can't give them extra opportunities. The drive extends, and whenever you give these guys extra opportunities, they come back to bite you. They're too good, and it's too hard as it is, but penalties and things absolutely kill you. They're magnified with great players like Brees.
Gerald McCoy is back in for Tampa Bay. As the Saints, 1st and 15. Here's Ingram. He's not going to go anywhere. We've got a game break, and Kurt Menefee has that.
All right, Arizona and Detroit. Carson Palmer back for the Cardinals. This doesn't end well for him. DeAndre Levy picks it off 66 yards later. It's good for a touchdown. The pick six puts the Lions up by 8, 21-13 in the third quarter. Kevin, John, and Aaron.
Well, Kurt, offense in the desert today. Calvin Johnson, a couple touchdowns. Carson Palmer looking good early there. Here it's 10-7. Saints on top of the Bucs. 8th play of the drive. And Revis makes the tackle on Sproles. Well, Drew Brees, in his 13th season, is NFL royalty.
He is, and just look at these numbers since 2006. All I know is I see a lot of firsts there. And granted, Peyton Manning's missed a year. Tom Brady in that time frame has missed a year. But this guy has played as well as any of them. And he's often lost in that shovel of the great ones. And he truly is a great one.
Third and 8. Breeze going deep, and that one's out of bounds. Looking for Lance Moore. But Revis was there on the coverage as Black was coming over with the safety help.
Good job by the Buccaneer defense. Again, they drop into zone coverage. Uncharacteristic for the Bucs, who last year were predominantly man-to-man. They drop in coverage and get off the field.
This will be a 43-yard field goal attempt for Garrett Hartley, who's 4 for 4 on the young season. Hit a 44-yarder earlier in this game. Luke McCown to hold. And Hartley is no good. And so the Bucs hold and get the ball back. Much to the delight of Greg Schiano. He's fired up. His Bucs get the ball down 3. Garrett Hartley missing a 43-yard field goal. And the Bucs get the ball back down 3. That close, John.
He said he was that close to blocking, and Leonard Johnson got a good rush. And I'll tell you, kickers feel that heat. Nice job by Leonard Johnson.
We had an hour, 9 minutes lightning delay in this game, but it's had a lot of action so far. As you take a look at the leaders, Josh Freeman with a touchdown, and Kevin Ogletree also had a big run on a 3rd and long, which set up that touchdown. Bucs at 1st and 10, play clock winding down. They're not going to get it off. And that was an issue last week.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And something like that is maddening. And it's got to be maddening for Greg Schiano. But frankly, it falls upon Greg Schiano because that can't happen. They were late with substitution off of a stoppage of play. It can't happen. Shouldn't happen at the Pop Warner level. It's happening at the NFL. Inexcusable. Greg Schiano said this week, put those on me. We had a long talk about it. They still haven't corrected it.
Last week on the opening drive against the Jets, they had back-to-back delay games. Can't have that happen. Draw to Martin, works his way to about the 30-yard line. John Jenkins, the rookie, on the tackle.
You look at last week, communication issues. They go with the silent count. You see Gabe Karimi. He's going to tap the center, and the left guard's responsible for the silent count. Well, next time around, he's still looking at Josh Freeman. Well, Davin Joseph, the right guard, he's got something to tell, so he taps him, but it's not the right guard. Jeremy Zutan's the left guard. Consequence is safety. But these are things that look like they shouldn't happen at the grassroots of football, and they're happening at the highest level. Inexcusable. They've got to get it fixed.
This season, 17 penalties, 17 first downs for Tampa Bay. Vincent Jackson comes back to make the grab.
And a lot of people wanted to blame that on Josh Freeman. That had nothing to do with Josh Freeman. The ball was snapped when he wasn't ready. But something like the silent count, that's basic elementary football. And it's not been pretty for the Bucs in terms of the little things, the simple things. And those are the things that, frankly, win and lose ball games.
3rd and 5, pushing the tempo. Freeman, and it's incomplete. In and out of the midst of Vincent Jackson there. Keenan Lewis was on the coverage. Bucs will punt.
Ball's got to be caught. Josh Freeman put it on Vincent Jackson, who's a fine football player, but you got to make this play. Again, the result of this is ball back and Drew Brees' hands. A little bit behind him. Could have been a better throw, but Vincent Jackson expects himself to make that play.
Darren Sproles waiting back to receive. Michael Kanan to punt it. Fair catch for Sproles. Up around the 16-yard line. 46-yard punt, no return. Drew Brees on the field next. Every weeknight on Fox Sports 1, join Kurt, Jay, and Mike for Fox Football Daily. Tomorrow they'll be joined by Howie to review all of today's games, preview the Steelers-Bengals game, and recap all the college football action too. Fox Football Daily weeknights, only on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com.
It's a fun show there, Kevin. I go up every week. I'll be up there on Wednesday of this week and talk really global outlook of the entire league.
John, any show you're on is a show worth watching.
That's a lot of fun. We've got Kurt Menefee and Rondé Barber in there, Randy Moss. It's a lot of fun in there talking ball.
Drew Brees having himself a day. 1st and 10. On the 17, it's Sproles with good room. And that hole collapsed rather quickly. Adrian Claiborne on the stop after a 6-yard run. Well, we talked about earlier the Saints rush attack, their commitment to it, and the numbers support just how important it is to what they do.
Absolutely, and I think Sean Payton was gone. One thing Sean Payton understands, and he's told me before, a quarterback's greatest ally is a running game and a good defense. They didn't have either last year, thus they struggled. Sean Payton has come back committed as ever to the run game, and Drew Brees is the big fan of the run game as anybody.
Here's Ingram. 1st down out across the 30. As the former Heisman Trophy winner, stopped by Deshaun Goldson. It's a pickup of 8. You know, and it's interesting for Peyton to be back here because the last time he was here, if you remember, of course, suspended last year with the Bounty Gate. But here in Tampa, back in 2011, 3rd play of the game, that's when he had that crazy injury. Jimmy Graham caught a ball, forced into him on the sidelines, torn MCL, fractured tibia, and he was coaching plays from the bench as we get a challenge on this play. Now, what would Greg Schiano be challenging here?
I have no idea.
He got the 1st down by 6 yards.
Tampa Bay is challenging the ruling on the field of a runner down contact.
I got to tell you, challenge flags are pretty useful, and I'm a little stunned to throw one here. Well, I guess they're saying they thought the ball was out.
Well, they feel the ball's out, in which case the ball is how you play this game, and it is one of the Buccaneers, I believe Mark Barron or Deshaun Goldson, that comes up with the ball at the end of this play.
Now, to be fair, I didn't see the ball out, so clearly I understand the challenge now. But this is, you're going to have to get a better look than that, John. You need some evidence, conclusive evidence, and I think he still got it by looking at that replay. But
it's about that left knee. The left knee is the first to hit the ground. Is the ball out, and is it conclusive at that point? Remember, it has to be conclusive evidence to overturn the call.
Well, we were talking about Peyton and the injury here. The last time he was here, you know, again, he stayed on to coach this game on the bench. He couldn't stand. Here's the play. And Graham got hit, and then a secondary hit right here that Sean said kind of surprised him. I mean, you can imagine the pain he's in, a fractured leg, MCL tear. But he stays on to coach, and he's coaching from the jumbo screen. Now, you see it's windy there. And at one point he said to Pete Carmichael, the offensive coordinator, Pete, you got to be careful. Tell the guys to be careful throwing downfield into this wind. Well, upon further review, Sean didn't realize is, well, it wasn't wind. It was the stadium fan that was blowing on him on the bench. Let's get the call first.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Tampa Bay will be charged their 1st time out.
That indeed was funny. Pete Carmichael tells him, Coach, I don't think it's the wind. I think it's that fan right behind you. And Sean, there's the fan right there. And Sean was a good sport. And You know, we all know what happened from there. So Sean Payton didn't coach much of that year from the sidelines, and then obviously last year gone with the year-long suspension as a result of the bounty gate.
Meanwhile, Tampa loses a challenge there and a timeout. It's a 1st and 10 Saints. Setting up the screen. And Thomas out across the 35. Derek Landry on the stop. It's a we'll call it 4-yard gain. Here's the coaching career of Sean Payton, the NFC champs in 2000, Kerry Collins and company under Bill Parcells in Dallas, and then really a monumental moment in 06 when he and Drew Brees both came to the Saints and changed the fate of the organization.
Absolutely, they did, and they did together. They're not alone. They've won a Super Bowl, and they've restored a pride in a city, and they've been such a big part of that. It's really a neat story.
2nd and 6. And Pierre Thomas has himself a 1st down.
I think one of the great things that was missing from that resume was last year he coached in the Super Bowl. You know, he told us all about it. He coached the Liberty Christian Warriors against the Springtown Orange Porcupines, his son's 6th grade team. He was off on suspension, and he went through, Kevin, every game with the specifics about the game, scouting players, telling us Darren Woodson's son outside of Dallas, I'd draft the guy right now.
He's in 6th grade.
He's in 6th grade, but it was awesome talking, and the experience with his son, really neat talking football with Sean Payton.
Sproles sprinting outside. Flag flies. This one may be coming back.
Holding, number 64, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
That's on Zach Strief. Yeah, you know, when Sean was telling that story to us, he said, you know, clearly you don't want to, you're out of the league for a year. You can't have contact with anybody for a year. And that's not good for Tampa. McCoy, remember, got hurt earlier, walked off and came back. That's enormous. That's
and I would tell you, this is the player they could least afford to lose. He's the most important cog of this defense. It starts up front, and he's their best defensive lineman. He's played at a high level this year. That's a big loss if he indeed is out.
95, Gary Gibson, 7th year out of Rutgers, replaces him. 1st and 20, New Orleans. And looking for Lance Moore. Breeze incomplete.
See Gerald McCoy, the cut block there, and remember previously, number 93 there, previously McCoy had gone down with looked like a right ankle, and he gets cut on that ankle. Legal block by Charles Brown.
Three wide for the Saints. Kenny Stills, the rookie, bottom of your screen. Draw to Sproles. And Barron's going to make the hit out across the 36. Game break time. Here's Kurt Menefee.
Well, it's been dubbed the Manning Bowl, but there are other guys playing, like Wes Welker. 2-yard reception from Peyton Manning. 17-9, Denver in front, midway through the 3rd quarter. Kevin, John, and Aaron.
All right, Kurt, thanks. So Manning Bowl Part 3, Denver in front. Meanwhile, Gerald McCoy back in. Good news for the Bucs. Third and 17. 3-man rush. Going to hit Graham on the near side, but he's going to be well short of a 1st down. Leonard Johnson was there to make the initial hit. Banks, number 27, that was Mason Foster, excuse me, not Johnson. And the Saints will be punting it away.
You look at the coverage here. Here's the side opposite of Graham. But 3rd and 17, just keep the ball in front of you. You'll see Jonathan Banks get the depth and then watch them react and swarm to the football. Read Drew Brees' eyes. He intently looks down the field and delivers to Jimmy Graham. And here comes the posse on the tackle. Mason Foster and Jonathan Banks bring down Jimmy Graham.
Eric Page set to return. Thomas Morstead, Pro Bowl punter last year for New Orleans.
Timeout, New Orleans.
Saints call a timeout. Dave Wannstedt, special teams coach for Tampa Bay. Last Wednesday, Americans tuned into the Ultimate Fighter record numbers. Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate rivalry producing a shocking finish. If you thought last week was as intense as it gets, wait until you see the explosive turn the Rousey-Tate battle takes this week. Don't miss an all-new The Ultimate Fighter Wednesday, Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com right now. Well, the Saints are moving the ball, there's no question, but Tampa has come up with a couple of key stops at key times. Bucs touchdown coming off the Dakota Watson interception, which put him at the 35-yard line. But they will get it back here. Hayes lets it go, and Morstead drops it beautifully. Right around the 5-6 yard line. Couldn't ask for a better punt. 48-yard punt. Josh Freeman time. Bucs football. Trailing by 3. Oh, it's been a good game so far. The Saints and the Bucs. We've had some big plays. Had a couple defensive stands as well. But now the Bucs find themselves deep in their own territory with the 1st and 10 on their own 6-yard line. Doug Martin so far 40 yards on 8 carries. Only had 65 yards rushing last week. He gets it here. Martin near side. Good run on 1st down. He picks up 8.
Well, I tell you, they really missed Eric Lorig, the fullback, last week, and particularly backed up. Watch Lorig right there. Key block on Curtis Lofton. You give Doug Martin a little bit of space, he's going to make good upon it. Eric Lorig, very key player in this Buccaneer offense. And they're happy to have him back.
Go down.
2nd and 2. One more time to Martin. He's going to bounce it outside and go nowhere. Curtis Lofton was there to blow that play up, and David Hawthorne came on to help.
That's a really nice job by this Saints defense, who has really played well under Rob Ryan. Remember, this is a defense that set a record, the wrong kind of record, for most yards allowed ever in the NFL in a single season. And they played great against the Atlanta Falcons and doing a nice job here today, stringing out Doug Martin on that play.
The Saints D allowed 7,042 yards last year, the worst in history, plus the new defensive coordinator and Rob Ryan. 3rd and 3. Flag flies. Freeman lets it fly. Far side of the field. We've got a completion and a 1st down to Martin, but hang on. This looks like it could be coming back.
And here we go again. The Buccaneers make a play, but penalties. This one's coming back. Looks like either a false start or illegal formation.
Illegal formation, offense. All 5 receivers were off the line, leaving number 70 on the end of the line. 5-yard penalty, repeat them down.
Penalty number 5 on Tampa. They had 13 last week.
And what they're calling is Mike Williams up there, not up on the line of scrimmage. That would make 5 receivers off the line, and that again is elementary football. These are the basics. Things like getting the snap, lining up. You got to be able to execute that. And Freeman's in disbelief, and he should be. It's bad football.
Stuff you have to have ironed out. Instead of a 1st down, it's a 3rd and 8. A lot of time. Freeman hit as he throws. Vincent Jackson can't hang on. Well, Jackson came back, but that's the 2nd one today. He's had in and out of the hands, and the Bucs will punt it away from their own end zone.
Well, 2 3rd downs in a row that Vincent Jackson has dropped the football. Very uncharacteristic from him. He's a Pro Bowl type player. Josh Freeman puts a ball that is catchable for Vincent Jackson, and that's another ball that needs to be caught. Tough catch, yes. Does it need to be caught? Yes.
Michael Kanan will punt it away. Sproles. Good coverage by Tampa. Jonathan Casillas was down there, and so was Russell Shepard.
See Josh Freeman, he extends the play. Like I said, tough catch, yes, but one that you expect a guy like Vincent Jackson to make, absolutely.
It's a 47-yard punt by Kanan. Loss of 2 on the return, but still New Orleans in terrific field position on their own 43. McCoy has been in and out of this game. Each team with 2 timeouts to go. 2:33 to go first half. 10-7 Saints over the Bucs. Jimmy Graham at midfield. And he's brought down by Mark Barron. 8-yard gain to Jimmy Graham. And the Saints hurrying it up here.
Tell you, Drew Brees, that ball is always in position to throw. His feet always in position to throw. He goes through his progression. The whole field is in play when Drew Brees is on it.
Taking a shot. Graham again. And he can't make the play. And that is indeed going to be a hit on a defenseless receiver. That's Ahmad Black. And that was blatant. I mean, at some point, the Bucs have to sit back and learn the lesson.
You got to adjust, you know.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 43 defense. Go to the head, 15-yard penalty, previous spot. First down.
You know, I think this one on a couple of counts. First of all, it's late. The ball is dropped. Second of all, it is a blow to the head. And, you know, you make a mistake one time, you got to learn from it. The Buccaneers are not learning from it, and it's frankly killing them. And Greg Schiano, the head coach, they seemed relatively unfazed by the fact, are you going to adjust? Well, we're going to play physical football. We told our guys, you got to make an adjustment or it's going to beat you.
I mean, that was as blatant as can be. I mean, you put that one on the officials' video to send it around to the teams. And instead of an incomplete, this Tampa team, which is supposed to be disciplined, has been completely undisciplined through a game and a half. It's Greg Schiano. He said in our meetings on Friday, that's on me. And it is. Meanwhile, Jimmy Graham appears to be all right. He's staying in the game. Didn't need to come out, so looks like thankfully he's okay, because that was a vicious hit by Ahmad Black, number 43.
Look, and it's not.
The yardage is correct, and number 80 can stay in the game.
It's not Greg Schiano making those plays on the field, but he is the head coach, and the responsibility, everything comes back to the head coach. He's got to get his team to make an adjustment, and he needs to do it in a hurry.
With the penalty, it's 1st and 10 for New Orleans at the 34. Pressure coming. Sproles breaks through one tackle. Not the next couple. He's going to get to about the 30-yard line as we've reached the 2-minute warning in Tampa. Saints with a 10-7 lead on the move. 10-7 Saints over the Bucs. And New Orleans on the march, sitting just outside the 30-yard line. Each team 2 timeouts to go. Minute 57 to go in the half. Brees looking for Graham. Again, Jimmy Graham. Touchdown, New Orleans. He beat Deshaun Goldson. It's a 30-yard gain. Let's take a look. See if he indeed did get in. They look at every score up in the box. Every score is replayed. See if indeed his momentum did carry him in, or if he was down.
Appears as if his right behind touches at about the 1-yard line. That one may be brought back to the 1-yard line. The ball's not in as he goes down. Good catch by our truck.
Yep. They are looking at that right now. Bottom line is Jimmy Graham is going crazy. That's his 8th catch. He's going to be at 156 yards. It's the first half, John.
It looks like the ball will be down there, but what a great job by Drew Brees. That is an old play, the sluggo seam. John Gruden brought that into the NFL. You fake the slant and go on one side. That pulls the free safety out of the middle. You go down the middle, and again, Deshaun Goldson, the high-priced free agent, trying to cover Jimmy Graham, but with Drew Brees throwing the ball that accurately, forget about it.
Again, looking at this, not only to see you didn't get it in, but exactly where to put the ball here, where to spot this thing. Let's watch it one more time.
And watch Brees looking to his left. He's going to pump. It pulls the safety out of the middle. Then you've got this matchup right here, man-to-man. It's good coverage, frankly. Just a better thrown football by Drew Brees. Here's what you're looking at if you're a free safety. He looks left. I'm going left. Well, not so fast. It's coming back right. Very reminiscent of Rich Gannon. We played against him in the Super Bowl that year where he was pumping everywhere. And I tell you, the whole field is in play when you're playing Drew Brees. He does a better job than anybody in this league manipulating defenders with pump fakes with his eyes. And that's part of the greatness of Drew Brees.
What did Deshaun Goldson tell us about Brees yesterday? He doesn't stare down anyone. That's the example. Great shot by our guys. Well, they're figuring it out exactly where to put this.
The runner was down with the ball just inside the 1 yard line. We'll put the ball at the 1 and 1 on the ready.
And so Jimmy Graham has 8 catches for 156 yards, a new career high in the first half.
And it's not just that. Remember the personal foul, the late hit. That ball was thrown to Jimmy Graham.
That's true, too.
So great players affect the game. And boy, is he affecting it today.
Saints bring on some extra beef. Number 79, Bryce Harris, an extra tackle here. And the Bucs trailing by 3, hoping to have a goal line stand in them. First and goal for New Orleans at the 1. Each team with 2 timeouts. And New Orleans going to waste some clock here and be happy to take one of their 2.
Go back to the key play of this drive, and it was the ball thrown down the middle. The ball is dropped, and here comes Ahmad Black. Contact to the helmet, late contact. It extends the drive, and like I said earlier, you give great quarterbacks in this league more opportunities, you're going to get burned.
Aaron, what do you have?
Yeah, and right after that, Greg Schiano absolutely lost his mind. He even came out on the field and started screaming at the official. He thought the New Orleans trainer went out there to look at Jimmy Graham, and he said, so why didn't Graham leave the field? Guys, I know you have more on that.
Well, the reason is, and it's a great catch by you, Aaron, is you have to leave the field if it's an injury unless it's on a foul. Clearly the penalty there, so Graham checked out, he's okay. Did not have to come out of the game. Ingram in at tailback. It's a fake. Brees is going to throw it away. Injured Buck on the play. Meanwhile, that time the Bucs actually had a beat on Jimmy Graham. Derek Landry.
You see the hard play action trying to slip Jed Collins, Mark Barron on the coverage there, Dakota Watson on Jimmy Graham. I'd put more than 1 on Jimmy Graham. I'd put about 2 or 3. And you see Darrelle Revis leaning his way as well.
So Barron came out to cover Collins, the fullback. But it's only 2nd down.
Derek Landry down. He plays in that rotation in the middle. And remember, Gerald McCoy already struggling, has come out a couple times. And so the Buccaneers could be thinned at the interior defensive line as well. You see that pile come. Poor Derek Landry bent back. With all that weight on his leg, it's nice to see him walking off the field.
That is certainly a good sign. That did not look pretty. Drew Brees intercepted by Revis. Oh, wait a second. My bad. It's a nice catch nonetheless. He was ready. He would be happier if his Bucs could make a stand. 2nd and goal, Mark Ingram at tailback. They split Graham out to the top of your screen. Pitch to Ingram, and he's not going to get in. And a fumble on the play. And that is Deshaun Goldson making things happen.
That's a tremendous play, and that's why you pay the big bucks. They use Jimmy Graham as a decoy, try to flip it out to Mark Ingram. Watch this, textbook tackling. He brings his arm, stands him up, and waits for his crew to come. And they call him forward progress, stopped before the ball came out. Buccaneers do recover that ball on the sidelines.
Take a look at this one more time.
You see Deshaun Goldson and the forward progress at this point. They blow the whistle, say it's stopped. And not reviewable, this forward progress. Great play by Deshaun Goldson nonetheless.
It'll be a 3rd and goal for the Saints.
Boy, what a boost this would be for the Buccaneers as they go into half. If they could keep them out of the end zone. So many weapons at Drew Brees' disposal.
Pierre Thomas in at back. Graham slot right. Here's Thomas fighting, and he's not going to get there. Gary Gibson came in initially, and the Bucs with a huge stand.
And this is really good defense. You see Adrian Claiborne set the edge there, extend the play, and here comes the posse, and you got to love that. Darrelle Revis, your high-priced free agent corner. He's not just a cover corner. He's going to stick his head in there and stop the progress of Pierre Thomas. Darrelle Revis, an outstanding all-around football player.
44 seconds ago, the Saints look like they're going here. New Orleans does have one timeout left. The Bucs are out. Rick Shiano's trying to figure out what personnel to put out there right now. Maybe they're just wasting the clock here, John. And Drew Brees will call the Saints' final timeout with 22 seconds to go in this first half. Let's find out what's coming up on the Visa halftime show. For a preview of that, here's Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa halftime, we'll update you on the Manning Bowl in New York. Plus, 4 fantastic finishes from the early games. See how it all went down on a crazy week 2 in the NFL on the Visa halftime.
Well, there were crazy finishes, Kurt, in Buffalo or with the Bills and the Bears pulling out late finishes. Revis comes out working on his calf, it looks like, maybe a cramp. And that is indeed cramps for Darrelle Revis. Meanwhile, 4th and goal from the 2, 22 seconds left. Saints up on the Bucs 10-7. No timeouts left for anybody.
Sean Payton thinks better of it, since I think this was the plan all along. He was just running clock, sends Garrett Hartley and the kicking unit out. And that's a big stop for the Buccaneer defense. A lot of dumb plays, the penalties, but that stop down there at the goal line, that could be key in this game.
That was big. After Graham was tackled, by the way, by Goldson just before the goal line. Here's Garrett Hartley, 20 yards out. He's 1 of 2 on field goals today. Luke McCown has the hold. That one close to getting blocked, and it's up and through. Hold on, flag on the play.
It's interesting. You're going to get Leonard Johnson for being offsides. Now this brings up the quandary for Sean Payton. Do you take points off the board and take your team back out there? Drew Brees trying to lobby him, and it looks like he won.
How about that?
Offside, number 29. half the distance to the goal. Out.
How about that? So they'll take the field goal off the board half the distance, puts him at the 1 as Rivas coming back in.
You see Leonard Johnson right there get the jump. Remember, he almost blocked the previous one, but another foolish penalty for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ball is on the 1. 4th and goal for the Saints. They'll take the field goal off the board and go. They've got the extra lineman in there. Number 79, Bryce Harris, is the extra tackle.
Confusion on the Buccaneers. They're running players in, running players off.
Ingram is the tailback. Give to Ingram. And he is stopped. A goal line stand for Tampa. Levante David, Adrian Claiborne made it happen.
Well, a tremendous stand for the Buccaneers, really overcoming their foolishness with all the penalties. But watch Levante David take it to Jed Collins and Mason Foster with the key hit right there. And here comes the rest of the group, and what a play by the Buccaneer defense. Watch Mason Foster. Look at those eyes of a middle linebacker. He's scraping, 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 then he attacks. Adrian Claiborne gets in there along with Levante David. Nice defensive football. As I said, overcoming the countless penalties.
Unbelievable. Great shots, too, as David was pulling back and Foster was pushing forward. And how about the job by Golston there out on the edge?
See the reaction. Levante David, a fine football player. Tough penalty at the end of last week's game. Dakota Watson and all these players, and Sean Payton.
What a game, right? Here is Jimmy Graham tearing up the middle of the Tampa defense. But you know what? When they've had to hold on some key spots today, they've done it. None more important than that. But now, 14 seconds to go in the half. Nobody's got a timeout. So Tampa's got one mission, John. Don't get a safety. Simple as that.
You know, I think the moral of this story 2 weeks in, if Tampa would stop beating themselves, they may be 1-0 and ahead of the New Orleans Saints here, but they continue to hurt themselves, and that puts a chill on all the good things they're doing on the field. And it goes back to discipline. You got to be a disciplined football team.
And the Saints, we talked about their commitment to the run game. They tried to run it 3 times, and each time denied. They also had a 20-yard field goal by Garrett Hartley and decided to take it off the board after the penalty. They pay for it.
Kevin, Mark Ingram last week, 11 yards on 9 carries. Former first-round pick. They just haven't seen it. They haven't got it from Mark Ingram. And, you know, Sean Payton says, we're going to get this run game right. You see the surge, Tampa taking it. That's just a great play by Mason Foster and company. But if you're Mark Ingram, I think you've got to stick your head down. You got to find a way to get that in the end zone.
Deshaun Goldson right there, 38, on Ben Grubbs, really changed the direction of that play, too. They were looking at it to make sure the play didn't get in, but clearly that didn't get in. But they do review everything in that situation. So Tampa's football, 14 seconds left, just looking to not get a safety here. Simple as that.
You know, in the old adage in football, you never take points off the board. But Sean Payton has always been an aggressive coach. It's been part of his strength. Right there, it bites him. A little nudging from his quarterback, Drew Brees. We've seen Peyton Manning do that a lot. Keep that offense on the field. The quarterback always wants the touchdown.
Wonder if Freeman just sneaks it forward to get some room. He does. And that will run it out to the half. Good first half of football in Tampa, with the Saints up on the Bucs 10-7. We now go to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles for the Visa halftime report, which starts right now. favorite team all season long? Just go to itunes.com/NFL. We had a goal line stand at the end of the break, John. How about this?
Yeah, but take a look. They did it with 10 guys. The Buccaneers continue to play undisciplined football, but nonetheless, they stopped them, so kudos to them. Just imagine if they play with 11. If they don't have penalties, they might be really good.
We'll do the kickoff. You talk about the stand, and we showed you playing with 10 guys. 6 plays for the Saints in the red zone, -8 yards. That's pretty good for a team that's usually tremendous in the red zone.
Especially with 10 players.
Oh, maybe they should try 9 next time. Here's the second half kickoff. Takes the funky bounce, and Page will go and get it. The Bucs will take over on their own 20. These numbers are certainly in favor of New Orleans. 239 yards to 92. Jimmy Graham's got 156 yards. And yet, John, it's a 3-point game.
Well, and look at the plays, and I think a lot of those plays have become from extended drives because of penalties from the Buccaneers. Yeah. So if the Bucs can clean up some of these foolish penalties, then they might have some success. They're playing good football. You just got to clean up the sloppy mistakes.
And they'd like to get the offense going too so far. Josh Freeman just 5 of 11, 31 yards in the first half. Does have a touchdown pass. Started off with a run to Doug Martin, who gets through the line, and that'll start it off well. He's going to pick up 7 yards. Curtis Lofton made the stop. We go downstairs to Aaron.
And Kevin, I talked to Greg Schiano before he went into the half and asked how would he address his team about those penalties, and he says, look, they've lowered the strike zone. We hit, we're physical, we just need to adjust. I also just caught up with Sean Payton, and we saw that nice little wink from Drew Brees over to his head coach. He said, look, we decided to take the penalty. We were closer to the end zone. We thought we could make a play, and we weren't able to. He said, I'm just being aggressive.
And Aaron, that's what Sean Payton has always done. Second down for Martin. First down and then some across the 40. And the Bucs finally getting the running game going. Doug Martin was silenced a week ago. We have an injured Saints right at the 35. It's Patrick Robinson, the nickelback for this team. 16-yard run for Doug Martin. He's now got 12 carries, 71 yards.
And you watch Doug Martin. When you get him just a little bit of space, and good job by Davin Joseph and DeMar Dotson, you see that alley right there. And Doug Martin, you give him the smallest of alleys. Good vision by Doug Martin, finding the hole and getting downhill. You see the injury, Mike Williams. Looks as if that knee just gives out on Patrick Robinson. They're bringing the card out.
Never a good sign. Saints tend to their injured quarterback, Robinson. Concern for Patrick Robinson, the 4th-year cornerback out of Florida State. They've got the card out. They just pumped an air cast around that right leg.
And you see Patrick Robinson down here. Mike Williams blocking, and that leg just gives out on him, and it was quick as can be that they sent the card out.
While they take care of Robinson, we'll take this time to get a game break from Kurt Menefee.
All right, Detroit and Arizona. This one coming down to the finish. Arizona trying to come back to get a little help. Detroit's Bill Bentley called for pass interference on Andre Roberts in the end zone, set up a Rashard Mendenhall touchdown, and right now it's 25-21 Arizona, kneeling down at the end of the ball game. Kevin, John, Aaron?
Kurt, thanks. Sometimes it helps to underthrow the ball there. Meanwhile, you just see the look of distraught Patrick Robinson. He just came over, got a nice handshake from Mike Williams, who's the guy blocking him on that play. That's tough.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. And great display of sportsmanship by Mike Williams. As tough as this game is, we've seen vicious hits, but there's a great respect amongst players, particularly amongst division opponents. They compete hard, but they also appreciate and respect each other's health and families. That's good stuff right there.
Corey White is the guy who would fill in. White's the 4th cornerback, number 24. So in that nickel, he'll be the new guy Freeman on the play fake. Looking to go deep for Ogletree. Just off the fingertips. Jabari Greer on the coverage. Malcolm Jenkins with the safety help.
Well, and that just fools in. You start running the football well, then there comes the play action. And Kevin Ogletree is a guy that they think brings an added dimension of speed. You talk to offensive coordinator Mike Sullivan. He says the one thing they left on the field last week were those deep shots off the play action. He was going to come after it today. And there's an example, and a near miss. Well thrown football by Josh Freeman.
Draw to Martin, and he has no shot. Harris Harrelson, who was acquired in a trade with the Niners just before the season started and thrust into a starting role with the hit.
Harris Harrelson coming right off the edge. Little draw fake. It doesn't fool Paris Harrelson, a veteran player. And he's been quite an acquisition. Doug Martin has no chance.
Harrelson missed 2012 with a triceps tear, and of course the Niners drafted Aldon Smith, and they've got Ahmad Brooks, and he had nowhere to play. Contributing here. 3rd and long. A lot of time, and Freeman over the middle's got Vincent Jackson inside the 40. Kenny Vaccaro there on the stop. It's a 22-yard pickup.
See Vincent Jackson. He's in the slot. Knows he's got to get downfield. Gets to the sticks. And what a throw by Josh Freeman. And this is where Josh Freeman tantalizes you. He's got everything you want in a quarterback. That is a big-time throw. And I like the fact he goes back to his all-pro receiver after he's dropped the last 2 third downs.
That's Byam in motion, 82. Here's Martin. And he goes backwards. David Hawthorne, the former Seattle Seahawk, signed a 5-year deal with the Saints at the beginning of last year. Making that step. You know, just the involvement of Doug Martin today. I mean, last week he had 65 yards and 17 of those came on a run in the 4th quarter. It's been a big difference this week. He's got 14 carries, 67 yards, much more involved, bigger holes. It's what the Bucs need if they want to win this game.
Doug Martin's a special player. They know it. The problem is the opposing defenses knows it, and that's their priority number 1 is to stop him.
2nd and 10, blitz coming. Looking for Mike Williams. Keenan Lewis on the coverage.
You start to see the potential of this Tampa Bay Buccaneer offenses, and you see it in flashes, Kevin. You see the success they have with Doug Martin. You get them a little space. You see Vincent Jackson, Mike Williams. I think the problem is, where's the presence at the tight end position? Where's that 3rd receiver? They're hopeful that it's Kevin Ogletree, but someone else other than the big 3, Doug Martin, Vincent Jackson, and Mike Williams, has to come to the forefront. Someone has to emerge.
Ogletree, 1 catch, 5 yards today. 3 of 7 on 3rd down are the Bucs. 3rd and 10. Pressure from, and a fumble on the play. Ball is loose, sitting there on the ground, and it's picked up by New Orleans. Junior Gillette with the fumble recovery. It was Cam Jordan with the strip sack.
And that one's really on Josh Freeman. You got to have that time, that internal time clock as a quarterback, knowing that you can't hold the football. That's actually decent protection. Cam Jordan stays after it, gets the ball out. Josh Freeman got to get rid of the football.
Saints football after the turnover. They've got the 10-7 lead. Cam Jordan with the strip sack, and the fumble was picked up by the guy next to him, 93 Junior Gillette. Here's the play.
You see Josh Freeman, he's looking the other way, but look at right now, you've got to throw on time in this league. You hold the ball, you're going to pay. Josh Freeman looks to his left. Vincent Jackson open to the right. Got to get rid of the football.
Pierre Thomas, the back, he gets it on a 1st down and finds running room inside the 35, keeps it going all the way inside the 30. Pierre Thomas churning the legs. He's got a Saints 1st down, and the fullback Jed Collins helping that.
Pierre Thomas is kind of like Old Faithful for the New Orleans Saints. When they start struggling, they go to him, and it's a pattern that repeats itself. They rotate their backs, but when Sean Payton needs to get something going, he's got a lot of trust in Pierre Thomas. the 7th-year running back out of Illinois.
Breeze in trouble. A little swim move. Can't get out of it. David came on the heavy pressure. Lavonte David, after an ending that certainly he didn't want last week, making the play there.
Here comes Lavonte David right off the edge. Does a tremendous job of containing him, not going for the pump, staying on his feet. Good play by Lavonte David.
How many times have we seen Breeze with that swim move with the football too?
It's his patented move. He's very good at it. It's something he practices. You see it a lot on film, the little arm over technique, and Lavonte David doesn't go for it.
Second and 10. Blitz coming, and Breeze looking for Thomas. Not going to get there, though. He had some pressure from Claiborne and from Gerald McCoy as well.
And Adrian Claiborne playing the pass better today. Remember, he's coming off that ACL. You see him in a stand-up position, unblocked, and he comes right after him. Adrian Claiborne a force here today.
Saints are 4 of 8 on 3rd down. They've been great ever since Breeze has been in New Orleans. They were 4th in the NFL last year in that department. Here, though, a 3rd and 10 with the rain coming down. That's Revis backing up in the out of your screen on the bottom. Breeze has time, and he's got a 1st down. Lance Moore with the catch. 14-yard pickup.
Watch Drew Brees on this play. He looks left, he looks right, and then all of a sudden come back left. So many quarterbacks in this league are half-field readers, as you call it, and that's the old West Coast system. Drew Brees, I keep mentioning it, but the entire field is in play. You see him go to his 4th option there. It's what differentiates him and makes him special.
They're going to sling it to Thomas, who's upended by Banks inside the 10. It'll get him down around the 8. The rookie Banks making the tackle.
The rookie Banks has figured it out. High hits aren't allowed in the league anymore, so go low, and that's the unintended consequence, perhaps, is that you're going to see a lot of knee injuries in my mind on these defenseless receivers, because defensive backs say, I can't go high, so let's go low, and that used to be considered the cheap play.
That's Graham in motion. Sproles a single back. 2nd down. Flag on the play. Maybe McCoy got held, and Breeze will throw it away. McCoy was working there against Jerry Evans.
Holding, number 73 offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
And it's on him. 4-time Pro Bowler John had his troubles last week as well.
You look at that coverage right there on the hard play action. Nice job by Ahmad Black and Revis not falling for the play action. And you're absolutely right. Jerry Evans, their Pro Bowl guard, he struggled against Jonathan Babineau and the Atlanta Falcons. And you see a handful of jersey from Jerry Evans. Another nice job by Gerald McCoy. Pressure from the interior.
Saints have Thomas and Sproles with Breeze. They're going to set up a screen to Pierre Thomas, and he's going to lose yardage. Oh, the Saints had that one blown up from the get-go. It's Mark Barron, the 2nd-year safety from Alabama.
I really like what I'm seeing from Mark Barron here today. He's a player that's immensely talented. They have him closer to the line of scrimmage this year. See Darrelle Revis come put an edge on it, set up the play for his buddy. Mark Barron, that's nice play by Darrelle Revis and Mark Barron.
What did Deshaun Goldson tell us on Friday? When you have a secondary that tackles across the board, it's a good thing. 3rd and 13. Saints have to get it to the 5. Blitz coming. Breeze in trouble, and down he goes. It's Lavonte David. Third sack of the day for Tampa Bay.
What a play by Lavonte David, running right through the block. of Darren Sproles, who does his best to get over there. He runs through it, will not be denied, and then holds on for dear life. An outstanding football play by an outstanding football player in Levante David.
Garrett Hartley will try it from 41 yards. He's 1 of 2 today. This one is true. A 41-yard field goal from Garrett Hartley extends the Saints' lead up on the Bucs. 13-7 in Tampa. You see the Saints scoring drive didn't go very far. It happened because of the Cam Jordan strip sack of Josh Freeman that was picked up by Junior Gillette. Bill Sheridan's defense is making things happen. The Saints total yards in the red zone today, -23. So they've made stands when they've had to. And Page will take it out from his own end zone. Has room. Page across the 25. Decides to take it out, and the Bucs will take over. Down by 6. Drew Brees trying to figure out this Bucs D. Schiano liking what he sees. 13-7. Saints lead the Bucs midway through this third quarter as it's raining again here in Tampa. It's Nate Byam, backup tight end, in motion. Here's Martin. He's not going to get much. Well, Rob Ryan is the new defensive coordinator in New Orleans, replacing Steve Spagnuolo, as the defense gave up a record number of yards last year, and he held this Bucs offense more than in check when his Cowboys played the Bucs last year, as you see.
He's doing a fine job. And we asked Sean Payton, why'd you hire Rob Ryan? He said, this defense, they had such a tough year last year. I needed somebody to instill some energy, some confidence, make these guys feel good about themselves again. We brought in Rob Ryan. Rob Ryan, the early returns look really good for this defense, playing great football in New Orleans.
2nd and 9. A lot of time for Freeman. A lot of time. He's going to throw it as far as his arm can take him for Vincent Jackson. He's got it, and he breaks free. Touchdown, Tampa. 73 yards.
Offense. Number 69 is on the end of the line. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
And it won't count.
Foolish penalties once again. DeMar Dotson, the right tackle. They say that he's off the line of scrimmage. The Buccaneers once again, their outstanding play. They've got big-time players. You see DeMar Dotson right there, too far back off the line of scrimmage. A legal formation. And all that work by Vincent Jackson and Josh Freeman for naught.
I can't remember the last time I saw a football game where 2 calls like that occurred. Twice, not enough guys on the line. And it negates this, a 73-yard beauty.
And now the Buccaneers are forced to use a timeout because they can't get the right personnel on the field. It's baffling that this happens at this level.
You know, the Bucs have done so many good things today, but the penalties, the lack of communication continues to be a big issue. And, you know, there's been a lot going on with these Bucs, even after just 1 week where they had a game where they certainly looked like they were about to win before a penalty on David put the Jets in field goal position and they won. But, you know, lots happened here in Tampa. Questions about the quarterback, Josh Freeman. No contract for him next year. He missed the team picture, was late for that. Not elected captain after he was the captain for the last 3 years at players-only meeting. And the only way, quite frankly, for the Bucs to get through this is to win.
Is to win. It's the best deodorant, winning. When things are stinking, you got to come out and win. And like I said in the open, they win. All that's forgotten. But they're killing themselves in an effort to win with all these penalties.
2nd and 14. Big hole for Doug Martin. He's out to the 40 and then some. All the way to midfield is Doug Martin. He's got himself A first down and more. Jabari Greer on the stop, 28 yards on the run.
And again, you see the Buccaneers have outstanding players. And just watch Doug Martin. You can barely find him behind those big linemen. And that's what it looks like for a defender. And you don't have to give him much space. Give him a little. Like Rob Bryant says, he could walk under the table. Doug Martin at 5'9", an explosive player.
Also got a great block from the fullback Eric Lorig, who took out the linebacker David Hawthorne. Go to him again, and the muscle hamster has a gain of 5. You know, we were talking to offensive coordinator Mike Sullivan from Tampa yesterday and talked about Lorig, and I think it's a position in the fullback a lot of people gloss over. But Lorig had a good year for them last year, missed week 1, and he said, Sullivan said he just has a feel for our core runs. There is a chemistry with the tailback. That's Doug Martin.
Yeah, he talked about that chemistry, a fullback and a tailback being much like a quarterback and receiver. And I think all you have to do is look at Emmitt Smith, and where is he without our Darryl Johnston all those years?
And he's over 100 yards. Fake to him here. Freeman, back foot throw, intercepted. He pays for it there, and it's picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And Jenkins tackled inside the 40.
Outstanding play by Malcolm Jenkins, reading the eyes of Josh Freeman. Buccaneers continue to hurt themselves against the Saints.
Malcolm Jenkins with the interception of Josh Freeman after the Bucs were moving the football.
Kevin, we've shown Drew Brees throughout this game and the way he manipulates defenders with his eyes. Josh Freeman, on the other hand, right there, stared down his receiver. Malcolm Jenkins played center field, just stared down those eyes and drove on the football. Easy play for Malcolm Jenkins.
1st and 10 Saints. This is Ingram. He's going to muscle his way to about the 34. Casillas on the hit.
Look at Josh Freeman, the hard play action, and staring down that target. And if you're late in this league, defenders like Malcolm Jenkins are too good. And he drives and he makes Josh Freeman pay.
Room for Ingram. Levante David, Jonathan Casillas.
Jonathan Casillas, the former New Orleans Saint, having some success here. And this defense has really played well. You just have to wonder how many times can they step up against this high-powered New Orleans offense.
Jimmy Graham had 8 catches, 156 yards in the first half. Hasn't caught a ball yet in this 3rd quarter. Saints 5 of 10 on 3rd down. There is Graham. Pressure in the face of Brees, and it causes the throw to be a hair behind Graham. Incomplete. Mason Foster coming in on the tip. Never be without football. Get coverage of every NFL game on NFL Mobile. Call Star NFL to download it now. Bucs defense keeping them in the game after a couple turnovers.
Not easy to do against the New Orleans Saints, and they keep stepping up to the task.
Garrett Hartley will attempt a 53-yard field goal. This is his career long. He did it twice last year. We got a flag before this one goes off. And that's on New Orleans. That'll push him out of field goal range, I believe.
Bossart, number 66, offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
It's on Ben Grubbs, the left guard. And that'll force the Saints to punt it away.
See, Greg Schiano, he wants the safe punt team now. They send their defense to counteract any possible fakes. And finally, the penalties on someone else other than the Bucs.
8 penalties on the Bucs, 5 on the Saints. And again, Tampa with some communication issues. They are forced to call their second timeout. And Greg Schiano is clearly not happy.
He's not, and it's understandable why. They continue substitution issues, getting the right people on the field, elementary things in football they aren't executing. They're doing the big things, the tougher things really well. And they've got some outstanding players, but it's like it's a team that's swimming upstream. They make some progress and then a big surge comes and gets them. The problem is they're doing it to themselves.
So where is the blame here?
Well, Greg Schiano told us the other day, that falls on me. He talked to his team. The players have to take some accountability as well, though. Greg Schiano's not the one lining up, not on the line of scrimmage. He's not the one doing all these things, but substitution and things like this, ultimately it always falls on the head coach.
Meanwhile, you've got 3:56 to go in the third quarter, and the Buccaneers have 1 timeout left for the remainder of the game. That's not great. That's for sure. Morstead will punt it away. Drop it inside the 20 and will do so beautifully. Corey White slide and grab, and the Bucs backed up against their own end line. 35-yard punt, no return. Greg Schiano looking for a little something from his Bucs. They trail by 6 in the third. Bucs continue to shoot themselves in the foot. After a timeout, you got to get hands on Corey White there. Russell Shepard did not, and because of it got ripped on the sideline by his head coach Greg Schiano. You know, and John, it's amazing. This Bucs team has done some really good things. Defensive stands, goal line stand, but there's only so many times you can shoot yourselves in the foot against a good team like the Saints.
Absolutely. Eventually it's going to burn you, and eventually Drew Brees will burn you. They've hung in this game somehow. We'll see if Josh Freeman can respond right here.
Well, they give it to Martin to get out of the shadow of their own end zone. That'll give them some breathing room. The Bucs offense has done nothing. Last 5 possessions, couple of punts, the half, the strip sack of Freeman, and then the pick to Malcolm Jenkins. Freeman on the day just 6 of 15, 53 yards, a touchdown and a pick.
But remember, the 72-yarder, I believe it was, negated because of a illegal formation on DeMar Dotson. So again, every time they do something good, it seems to be counteracted by something negative that they can control.
Freeman going to air it out, and he's got a man wide open. It's Nate Byam, the 4th-year man from Pittsburgh, backup tight end, makes a rare catch, 34 yards.
Well, we've been looking for something out of the tight end position for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Josh Freeman finally found it in Byam. Nicely thrown football, and a good job by Byam bringing it in.
First catch by a tight end or a back, and Freeman going to sneak it forward.
Freeman on the carry.
Tom Crabtree was brought in from the Green Bay Packers as a free agent this year, and was supposed to be that presence in the middle. Now Tom Crabtree has 18 career catches, so I don't know how much of a presence, but they've got to get some production from the tight end position, from a third receiver, someone other than their big 3, Vincent Jackson, Mike Williams, and Doug Martin.
That's Jackson in motion, 2nd and 8. Martin, a little stutter step, doesn't find much running room at all. It is pretty amazing when you look at this game. Hard to explain if you look at the stat line. Graham's got 156 yards and a touchdown. The Bucs have made numerous stops on defense. They've made numerous mistakes. All that said, they're only down 6 points here.
Well, they've done a great job keeping New Orleans out of the end zone, and that really bit New Orleans last week versus Atlanta. They were 1 of 3 inside the red zone, so red zone offense has to improve for the New Orleans Saints, and that goes back to the effectiveness of the run game.
Bucs 3rd and 8 on 3rd down. It's Brian Leonard in the backfield with Freeman. Lets one go, incomplete. Fans want some contact on Malcolm Jenkins, not going to get it. Vincent Jackson, the intended receiver.
So Vincent Jackson, Malcolm Jenkins doing a fine job covering Vincent Jackson. There's contact, but it seems to be incidental. The referees, the officials let it go. Good protection up front by the Bucs.
The Bucs just cannot get anything going offensively. Michael Cannon to punt it away. Another booming kick, and Sproles with a fair catch at the 11. 42-yard punt, no return. Next Sunday on Fox, if you think you know Mike Tyson, think again. As Being, Mike Tyson takes you inside the life of one of the most controversial, enigmatic, and successful sports icons of our time. Being, Mike Tyson premieres next Sunday on Fox. Check local listings. We've had a game that's had a lot of interesting moments. We had an hour and 9 lightning delay in the first half. That's why we're playing at almost 8 o'clock, and we're not even in the fourth quarter yet. Big goal line stand at the end of the half for the Bucs. Jimmy Graham has gone crazy, but all that was in the first half. Saints turn, 1st and 10. Here comes the blitz. Breeze gets rid of it to Colston. And Deshaun Goldston is there to make the hit as Colston gets out to the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 3. That's the first catch for Colston since the opening drive.
You go back to the end of this 3rd down play, and you look up top. Jeremy Zutop pushed by Junior Gillette, and Donald Pinn comes into the official throw the flag. But I think the official thinks Zutop took a little dive there.
Looking at the eyes of Levante David. Breeze lets it go, and that'll be close to a first down for Jimmy Graham, and do the spot. I think he's got it. First catch of the second half for Jimmy Graham, as that should take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 8-yard pickup.
They've clearly chosen not to try to man the New Orleans Saints up, that they're too good to man defense. We've seen it one time, and they got a big play to Jimmy Graham. It's been the zone defense, and Drew Brees starting to pick it apart.
We head to the 4th quarter. Saints ball, but the Bucs down by just 6. 13-7 New Orleans. NFL on Fox returns after these messages. We've got a tight game as we get set for quarter number 4. 13-7 Saints. Well, Greg Schiano, we've seen him animated plenty today. With all the stuff that's gone on here in Tampa this week.
I think sooner or later he hits a boiling point, because he can coach his players all they want, but they have to take some accountability as well.
1st and 10 for Drew Brees. Has a big hole near side for Thomas. We talked about Pierre Thomas, John. You know, and the Saints, they use all 3 backs. Certainly Sproles gets the most looks, but Thomas and Ingram. And Thomas is a guy, he's got a career average of 4.8 yards. He just seems to get chunks when he's in there.
And an undrafted free agent. The Saints have 6 of them on their roster this year. Mickey Loomis and the personnel guys here, along with Sean Payton. As you see Pierre Thomas run the football again, do such a tremendous job. Part of this deal is drafting first-round players and hitting on them, but so much of it is developing players, and the Saints coaching staff under Sean Payton has done a tremendous job of doing that.
6-yard gain. We look at the center, Brian De La Puente. That's Colston in motion. Pressure coming. Breeze hit as he throws. Going deep for Stills. And he can't make the play, but there is a flag. Mark Barron was there on coverage. Now let's uncover the penalty.
Pass interference. Number 23 defense. First down, spotted the foul.
Kenny Stills is the rookie, 5th rounder out of Oklahoma. His first NFL catch last week was 67 yards. He's got the speed.
Hard play action, and again you see why the commitment to the run game is so important. They run the football, all of a sudden you get safeties matched up on wide receivers. They aren't used to it. Unlike Darrelle Revis, he doesn't turn his head, and you're more prone to get a penalty when you don't do that.
That's a 37-yard penalty. 9 penalties for the Bucs, 103 yards. Now got 21 penalties on the year. Meacham in the game, number 17. That was him in motion, but a give to Thomas, and Levante David with help from Claiborne. Here's a problem for Tampa Bay. Penalties. Last week 13 of them, today 9. I mean, look at that. That's vintage old Oakland Raiders.
You know, last week it was 13 penalties, 12 first downs. Today it's 9 penalties and 9 first downs. So those two aren't supposed to be congruent. You're supposed to be a big disparity there in favor of first downs, and the Buccaneers have been anything but.
Moore in motion. 2nd and 7. Knocked away. Claiborne got in the passing lane of Breeze.
See Adrian Claiborne. Sometimes if you aren't going to get a rush, get your hands up. Does a nice job of diagnosing the play. Those are tough for D linemen, but that ball's in his hands now. He's nothing but open ground if he brings that in. 3rd down is where the Buccaneer defense has been effective.
Saints up 6. 13 minutes to go in the game. It's a 3rd and 7. And the play clock ran down, but instead Saints call a timeout. That's their first timeout of the half. Drew Brees and the Saints on the march. Big 3rd down when we return. Welcome back to Tampa. The Saints usually tremendous in the red zone and even a little farther from 30 yards in. They're 0 for 3 today, though. And a 3rd and 7. Pressure coming. Breeze unloads. Intercepted. It's Foster. Mason Foster has some blocks. Mason Foster could go. He is gonna score. And a flag comes in at the end. Holy cow. Yard return from Mason Foster if it stands.
Touchdown.
Believe there's a touchdown. There's going to be a celebration. Jonathan Casillas was down there without his helmet, but watch Mason Foster shows the blitz and backs out. The pressure in the face of Drew Brees, but twice today that dropping defenders in the zone have, as I said earlier, out-breezed Drew Brees. It's not often you fool Drew Brees, but Mason Foster did it right there.
Touchdown is ruled after the touchdown. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 52 of the intercepting team. Also, unsportsmanlike conduct taken off the helmet, number 92. 15 yards will be assessed on the kickoff after we confirm the touchdown.
How about the patience on the return from Foster?
And there's Mason Foster right there. He shows the blitz. He even bluffs it with one step. And Drew Brees simply loses him, throws the football right to him, and what a run by Mason Foster. I coached Mason Foster as a high school kid at a football camp in Northern California. He was a running back then, and he looks like one right there. Outstanding run getting to the end zone for Mason Foster.
I think he's in. I think he broke the plane for sure. What an effort by Mason Foster, the former 3rd-round draft pick out of Washington. has started all but one game with the Bucs since he was drafted. And if this stands, we're all tied at 13.
And Kevin, I hate to rain on the Buccaneers parade, but if it does stand and it's a touchdown, remember the 15 yards is going to back them up and give Drew Brees great field position. How many times can you hurt yourself?
Well, John, I mean, that's been the MO so far. You can't have something good without a negative for the Bucs. That's the way it's rolled.
The previous play is under review.
So the crew still looking at this.
They're going to look at the end of it. Did Mason Foster get all the way in? Watch that left elbow.
Let's see.
I think it's a touchdown.
I think so, too. They review this play. Let's bring in Mike Pereira.
Well, this is probably the best look. Has that ball broken the plane when the left forearm comes down? And I don't think you can tell. Keep in mind that if they do rule this short, then you would have to enforce the penalty.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands, touchdown.
An 85-yard interception return for a touchdown by Mason Foster.
Hey, Mike, now the penalty becomes enforced on the kickoff, correct?
That is correct. And although they called 2 unsportsmanlike conducts, only 1 can be enforced. So that's it'll move them 15 yards for the kickoff. So they'll go from basically the 35 to the 50.
And basically, you know, you got a couple options there. You get Darren Sproles back there to receive. There's all kinds of things. But right now, Tampa can take the lead with an extra point. Kick is up and good. What a crazy game.
Crazy, 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 crazy game. And
tell you one thing. Hey, Mike, I'm sorry. You have something else here?
Yeah, no, just to clarify again that the penalty will be enforced in the kickoff, so they'll actually kick off from the 20 instead of the 35. I said 50, but it's the 20.
Oh, we knew what you said, Mike. We appreciate the clarification.
I knew you guys.
Thank you, my friend. So
I was trying to keep Lynch on his toes a little bit.
You're doing it, Mike. You're doing it. I'm just glad you're here for us.
Mike, thanks. But John, that's what I was saying. Now consider this: you kick off from the 20, and while normally all these kicks from Canaan go well out of the end zone, now you've got Darren Sproles, one of the most electrifying return men, who will get a chance to return this.
Absolutely. It opens up a lot of possibilities. And Kevin, I think the thing is we have the Buccaneers next week. We should just bring Mike Pereira, because you know there's going to be a lot of penalties with the 2013 Buccaneers. He had to be part of the road show. But you make a great point. Darren Sproles, Mike Canaan, typically 90% of the time out of the end zone, not so fast anymore. And another foolish penalty by the Buccaneers. And you said it, every time they do something good, I said they're swimming upstream. Something bad takes them down current.
Drew Brees trying to explain to his head coach Sean Payton about that play. Bucs defense has been tough today. They have
outstanding,
done everything imaginable against one of the league's best offenses. Sproles gets a chance on the return. Boy, tell you what, that's a great kick. That is a great kick. 23-yard return. Could have been a lot worse. Drew Brees, 250 yards and 2 interceptions today. And you see, you don't get 3 picks off of him often, but when you do, you usually win.
Greg Schiano said, look, turnover margin usually critical. With Drew Brees, the number, he's too good. The magic number is 3 interceptions. 2 and 12 when 3 interceptions or more. Here he is at 2. Can they get that 3rd?
Ingram at tailback. Here comes Claiborne. Brees under duress will sling it incomplete. Looking for Ingram.
The Saints, a big part of their offense. First and second down, play action shots. Hard to get pressure because they max protect. But Adrian Claiborne and Akeem Spence in their face early on. I said, who else other than Gerald McCoy is going to get pressure? Adrian Claiborne has emerged as a threat off the edge.
On a 2nd and 10, Breeze has all day, and he's going to find the tailback Sproles. Going to get out to the 38-yard line, I believe. Revis and Barron come in to make the stop. That's a pickup of 7. Well, this is setting up to be quite the finish, Sean, and you got to say Tampa's defense has done everything they can to keep them in the game here.
Yes, they have. They invested a lot in this defense in the back end. The front end's the one right now, though, that's starting to emerge and put some pressure on Drew Brees. They've done a nice job of confusing him. Here's a big third down.
5 of 11 on third are the Saints. Knocked away. Mark Barron on the coverage, made the play. Saints will punt.
Mark Barron, he's got all the tools to be an excellent strong safety. Again, faking the blitz, coming out man-to-man. And here's that length of Mark Barron. Huge arms, long hands, long, big hands. You've been waiting for Mark Barron to emerge as a player. It may have happened tonight.
Thomas Morstead to punt it away to Eric Page. Page at the 15. He's going to run out of real estate on the far side of the field. This Bucs defense has been outstanding today. 11:24 to go. Bucs football, they're up by 1.
Today's game is sponsored by the Samsung Galaxy S4. The next big thing is here.
Well, when this Drew Brees has been under duress today, sacked 3 times. His quarterback rating is 62.3. Last week in the win over Atlanta, 113. Now, though, it's on the Bucs. Up by 1, 11:24 to play. Here's Doug Martin. Has a seam. Martin to the 35. $18-yard run for Doug Martin. Luke Stocker with a nice block to help him get there.
That's excellent running. I've mentioned it all day. You don't have to get a whole lot of space for Doug Martin. Outstanding job by Luke Stocker, the tight end, of creating that hole. And Doug Martin does the rest. Interesting thing I'm seeing on this series, Kevin, is that Kenny Vaccaro, the first-year safety out of Texas, he's playing corner right now because of the injury to Patrick Robinson.
That time Martin has absolutely nowhere to go. Curtis Lofton, Cam Jordan were there. Doug Martin, 21 carries. 126 yards for Martin, quite the difference from last week.
This is a key down. You want to stay out of those 3rd and long situations. Can you get half of it back and get in a manageable 3rd down? That's the challenge for Josh Freeman, and Rob Ryan tries to keep him from doing it.
Freeman looking for Vincent Jackson, who fell down. Kenny Vaccaro was there on the coverage, but I think he just slipped.
Well, Kenny Vaccaro got his hands on him. Excellent
did.
play by Kenny Vaccaro right here within the 5 yards. Little legal chuck before the ball's in the air. Good play by Kenny Vaccaro. Freeman saw what I saw. The rookie safety now playing corner. He went after the matchup, and the rookie from Texas was up to it.
John, I should clarify, he slipped because he got decked. That happens. 3rd and long. 3rd and 11. Bucs are 3 of 9 on 3rd down today. Have to get to the 45. Freeman heading that way to Mike Williams. Is it good? No. No catch. Jabari Greer on the coverage. Official said out of bounds.
Watch the feet of Mike Williams. Remember, no force out rule in the NFL anymore. Does that right foot? The right foot never gets down. Good play by Jabari Greer.
And so the Saints defense doing the job. 9:49 to go in the game. Tons of time as Keenan will punt it away to Darren Sproles. And that's going to go near sideline. See where they put this one. We're going to walk it up to the 30-yard line where Drew Brees will take over. Hard-fought battle in the NFC South. Bucs 14, Saints 13. Back in a moment.
Well, you want to play gunner in the NFL? Look at this from Kenny Vaccaro. Just made the play on defense on Vincent Jackson. They feel like this young man's going to be a special player for the New Orleans Saints. He's doing it on defense, doing it on special teams. The little things that win football games.
Robert Meacham in the game, number 17. They'll pitch it to Sproles. And he slithers his way across the 45. 6-yard run by Sproles. It was Charles Brown on a nice block.
You continue to see that commitment to the running game by the New Orleans Saints. Haven't done it with tremendous success today, but they're continuing to do it.
Be a 2nd and 4. And he's got it complete to the rookie Stills, who's got a New Orleans first down. Sean Goldson coming up to make the stop.
Kevin, one thing that was evident in meeting with Drew Brees, we asked him about Kenny Stills, and he talked about his smarts. He talked about how smooth he is and how much trust he's already developed for the young player out of Oklahoma. A great deal of trust by Drew Brees for a rookie, and Kenny Stills throwing to him in a big moment in the game.
He called him Lance Moore 2.0 when we met with him yesterday. Said he's smooth, and a 10-yard pickup, making it a first down. 8.5 minutes to play. Pressure coming. Brees is buried. Tampa has brought the pressure all day long. Mark Barron, Levante David combining on the sack.
Greg Schiano talking about Drew Brees. He talked about how well he works the pocket. You got to fill the rush lanes. How about this for filling the rush lanes? And the special players finish in this league. Mark Barron has an opportunity to be one of those players, and he's starting to show that finish tonight.
I mean, you're talking about the offensive line that allowed the least sacks in the NFL since 2006. They're getting their work today.
You're seeing something you rarely see. Drew Brees confused. They've seen it quite a few times today.
That's not going to go far. That was Sproles on the carry. Trevor Scott. And, you know, this Tampa team, they hadn't had 30 sacks in forever. They got 5 sacks last week against the Jets, 4 today.
Only 27 all of last year. It was a big problem. Bill Sheridan's front getting after it.
3rd down, 18. Saints have to get all the way to the Tampa 44. Brees lets it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Marcus Colston. It would have been short of the first down anyway. Saints will punt it away.
I tell you what, Greg Schiano said it when we met with him on Friday. This defense and the loss to the Jets, they're starting to forge an identity. There's a long tradition of defense around here in Tampa. A run and hit defense. This defense is becoming that. They've had their share of penalties. We've documented that, but you got to give them credit where credit's due. They're playing some outstanding defense.
Well, they had a couple bad ones in the first quarter, first half penalty-wise, but they haven't backed down, and they are playing a fierce brand of D. Up by 1, they'll get the ball here on the Morstead punt. Page, this little spin. And Page tried to make something happen, but terrific coverage by the Saints. Kevin Reddick came down, 46-yard punt, -2 on the return. This is outside of the stadium. No fly zone against Drew Brees. And let's face it, Tampa went and spent all this money. They traded for Darrelle Revis and then signed him to a $96 million deal. They signed Deshaun Goldson to a $41.5 million deal. You're seeing some of the dividends today.
They call that ROI, return on investment, pretty good in Tampa. The early returns are good.
1st and 10. And Martin will snake his way. Maybe a yard, not much. Timeout situation to keep in mind. Bucs with just 1, the Saints with 2.
Kevin, we talked in the open about the heat being on Josh Freeman. What an opportunity if he can answer the call his defense has all night long. Go get a first down. You'll be a hero in Tampa again.
Last year against the Cowboys, that was Rob Ryan's D. Today, he's been held down. And he throws one at the feet of Kevin Ogletree.
Had an open receiver. Inaccurate throw. Threw it at his feet. Got to be able to make that throw when the pressure's on.
Well, after the touchdown by Mason Foster, after the D held the Saints, the Bucs had it only 2 minutes last time. They don't want a 3-and-out here, and Greg Schiano knows it. Third and 9. Blitz coming. Picked up. Freeman. Jackson's got it, and he holds on. Big hookup on a 3rd and 11. Kenny Vaccaro made the hit, but a huge conversion on 3rd down and a gain of 20.
Well, tremendous job of protection by the Buccaneer offensive line. Look at this pocket. Doug Martin standing in there protecting his quarterback, and Josh Freeman delivers a nice strike, and Vincent Jackson pays for it from Kenny Vaccaro with a big hit at the end of the play.
Just over 5.5 to play. 1st and 10 for the Bucs at the 35. Here's Martin. Slide steps the first tackle, but can't get by the next. Lofton hit him initially.
Remember, only a 1-point game. You're playing against Drew Brees, and they've kept him in check. 2 interceptions here today. But how long can you do it? The more clock this Buccaneer offense can eat, the better. Points, even better.
Keep in mind, Mike Sullivan, the offensive coordinator, told us yesterday, when you get to 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, those are the critical calls, just as much as the 3rd down. Freeman with time, and he's got a completion, and again holding on is Jackson. 1st down. Jenkins on the tackle, but Freeman getting good protection here as he's delivering with the 18-yard strike.
This is one of those where Josh Freeman and Mike Sullivan say, I know that you know that 83 is the best player on this offense. There's people all around him. They've got 2 guys right there. Here comes a 3rd. But Vincent Jackson wins and holds on to the football as he takes a tough hit from Malcolm Jenkins.
Jackson had 2 drops in the first half of this game, but 2 catches and absorbing big-time hits. 5 receptions, 77 yards for Jackson, who's out. Page comes in for him. 4:10 to play. 1st and 10 Bucs. Here's Martin. And Martin delivering a hit and pushing the pile forward there. Junior Gillette made the tackle, but not before Doug Martin picked up 5.
That's what you love about Doug Martin. We've seen the explosion, the speed, but look at the physicality. This is Doug Martin at 5'9", delivering the blow on Junior Gillette.
Vincent Jackson back in. Wow. That's John Garrett. John Garrett, the wide receivers coach, and Jackson said, no way. 2nd and 6. Martin on the stretch. And we'll see where they put him out of bounds. It'll be close to a 1st down. Far in from us. Can't see where they put him. Jackson is clearly limping a little bit here. This will be a 3rd and short. Sorry, John.
The interesting thing on this running game on this drive, they're going to the left side. That's typically where Carl Nix is. It's Gabe Karimi in there. It's Donald Penn doing the job for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers up front right now.
Clock coming into play now. 2:48 to go. Saints with 2 timeouts left. It's a 3rd and 1. Jackson in the slot right. Martin gets it and has the first. They went with a good block from the center, Jeremy Zuttah.
Good block by Zuttah and a key block by Davin Joseph. Didn't play his best football last week. He gets that seal block on Akeem Hicks. Keep saying it. You give Doug Martin a little bit of room, he'll do the rest.
Josh Freeman has led an impressive drive here. This play began on the Tampa Bay 14. And they will take a second to measure, but he's got it. Two timeouts for the Saints and the 2-minute warning.
What a drive. You're accomplishing. You're moving the chains. Most importantly, with Drew Brees on the other side, you're eating clock and not giving Drew Brees an opportunity. Can they get another first down?
And after the measurement, the Saints called their first timeout. So 2:24 to go. Saints have 1 timeout left and the 2-minute warning. Tonight on Fox Sports Live, join Jay and Dan. They recap all today's action from the gridiron and the rest of the sports world. Don't miss Fox Sports Live tonight at 11 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com right now.
Hey, Kevin, one of the things we talked to Sean Payton and to Curtis Lofton, the linebacker. Sean Payton ran a rigorous, a tough camp. He hurt these guys. He practiced them hard conditioning test. He said it was for these moments. Can they gut it out?
1st and 10. Martin has a good chunk of yardage on first down. He's going to pick up 4. And it looks like, are the Saints going to call their last remaining timeout or not? They are instead going to take it to the 2-minute warning.
Tampa controlling the line of scrimmage right now.
2-minute warning in Tampa as the Bucs try to run out the clock. Up by 1 on the Saints. 2 minutes to play with the Bucs football. 2nd and 6 at the New Orleans 32. Saints have 1 timeout left. Basically a first down will end this game. Drew Brees resting on his defense, trying to get the ball back. It's Doug Martin. And he doesn't get much, if anything. Timeout New Orleans, their final timeout, which will set up play of the game on a 3rd and 6. There's a lot that has happened in this game. I mean, we had an hour and 9-minute lightning delay. All the penalties for the 2nd week in a row for Tampa. Saints with a couple turnovers. The 85-yard interception return from Mason Foster, which put the Bucs in front. But this drive, John, goes back to a 3rd and 11 when Josh Freeman made a big-time throw to Vincent Jackson.
Absolutely. And Josh Freeman, we talked about the heat being on him. Well, on this drive, he's delivered, as has that man, Vincent Jackson. You know, I go back to one of the key plays of the game. Jimmy Graham beats Deshaun Goldson. But never say die attitude of Goldson. He stops him. Remember, it was reviewed. They make the goal line stand. That may be the play of the game.
11th play of the drive coming up. 1:56 to play. No timeouts left for the Saints. A first down and the Bucs can wrap it up. If not, it's decision time.
They bring Jamon Meredith in as an extra. They've got their heavy package. Jamon Meredith, an offensive line at tight end position up top.
Little option to Martin. And Doug Martin makes it close, but he's going to be short of a first down. The time will run now. But if you're Greg Schiano, what do you do here?
This is an interesting decision.
is it ever.
You got a 1-point game right here. You go for the field goal, you make it 4 points. You got to let the clock run. 23 seconds left on the second clock. Going to be just about a minute when they're forced to make a decision. You either take the delay, punt it, pin them back, or you go for the long field goal.
Bucs will use their final timeout, and that'll bring it to 1:10 left in the game. Both punters in this game have been terrific. Michael Kanan is the punter for Tampa Bay. Ryan Lindell is the field goal kicker. Remember, he was set up to be the hero last week. He had a 37-yard field goal with 38 seconds left, and of course the Bucs lost. This would be a 47-yard field goal. Doesn't appear to be much wind on the field. Lindell, the 14-year veteran, former Buffalo Bill, signed because of multiple injuries at the position to Connor Barth with one.
Go within his range. Dave Wanstedt, the special teams coach, told me before the game he'd take him all the way out to 53 yards.
Michael Cain in the hold. Andrew Economos the snap. 47-yarder. And he pushed it. No good. And Drew Brees and the Saints take over in great field position. No timeouts left with 1:06 to play.
That miss is so big on so many levels. A 1-point game, now a field goal wins for the New Orleans Saints, but probably more important, the field position that you're giving Drew Brees. Can this Tampa defense that's been so good today stand up once more against Drew Brees?
Drew Brees will get his chance on the Lindell miss. 31 come from behind victories for Brees. Only Tom Brady and Peyton Manning have more. Minute 6 to go, no timeouts. Career long for Hartley is 53 yards. Probably got to get to about the 37. Brees will launch it, and Graham has the catch in Bucs territory. Clock running.
Plenty of time for the New Orleans Saints. Big chunk yards. The one thing that you couldn't have as a defense for Tampa. Drew Brees just got it to Jimmy Graham.
They'll run a play and dump it to Sproles. And Sproles is close to field goal range already with 40 seconds and counting. 8-yard gain. This is about a 58-yarder right now. It's a little long. 32 seconds to go. Brees would love 10 more yards. No timeouts. Brees over the middle. What a grab! Colston, but they got to get up and spike it. They've got to hurry. 15 seconds left. No timeouts. Can they get the spike down in time? They do! With 6 seconds to go and now 5 seconds to go, Marcus Colston with a 31-yard catch. And now it's up to Hartley to win it.
And I'll tell you, you cannot make a better throw. Yeah, you've got Jimmy Graham, you got different Darren Sproles, but how about going to the all-time receptions leader in Marcus Colston and Drew Brees? When it counted most, he makes the best throw of the day. What a throw, what a catch by Drew Brees to Marcus Colston.
Unbelievable. It's a 28-yard field goal attempt for Garrett Hartley. Thomas Morstead the hold, Justin Drescher the snap. Kick is up, and it is good. And the Saints with a comeback win in dramatic fashion. Brees with a big completion to Colston, and then the game winner from Hartley as they win it here 16-14. We'll be back to Tampa to wrap it up after these messages. What a finish.